The world of Arak has been destroyed once before. When the celestial comet known as Palor's Light was shattered, its remnants fell to the world below and caused utter devastation. 46 years later, and the world has begun to recover, but a terrible threat is on the horizon.
Hey, I'm Cam Buckland, a human cleric. Taken in and raised by a travelling band of performers known as the Bucklands, a colourful group of misfits helped shape me into the devious, charismatic and foolhardy man you know today. My troubled past led to the clerical devotion of Avandra, the goddess of change and luck. I'm slowly discovering that I hold power that is beyond the knowledge of most folk, something to do with the Lightfall.
My name is Juto Zizi Jing. I seek revenge on the Dragonborn who murdered my parents and enslaved me as a child. After escaping the cruel whip of my captor, I trained as a monk and fought to free my fellow tieflings. But now, I search for the Dragonborn in gold and red. The Dragonborn called Korak.
I am Alora Galanadel, a noble druid of the Spire of Galaad Helen. When the Lightfall struck, most elven spires retreated and have remained lost in the Feywild. I have made it my duty as part of the royal line to reconnect with those friends that we have lost. I'm just not entirely sure how I'll manage it. Growing up running around a forest hasn't exactly prepared me for the rest of the world, but I can't let my family down. The Spire of the Moon needs me.
I am Trelemar Alif, a drow warlock. Circumstances in my past have resulted in the disownment of my drow heritage. Now I serve a greater power, one who is leading me towards an item that will unlock the full potential of my magical abilities and help me destroy the Delakir.
4 heroes, brought together by chance, begin their first adventure to escape the clutches of a corrupted Fey spirit. Defeating the Fey spirit, they realize as they all head in the same direction that sticking together is better than being alone. Their destination? The capital of the Dawn Republic, the mighty city of Talis Val.
On their journey, our heroes encounter a town plagued by an unseen evil. Once again forced to work together, they uncover the creature responsible. But tragedy soon follows as Juto falls in battle. This once divided group unite for a new cause: to save a friend.
The heroes rush to the nearby Longwood, where an archfey agrees to return Juto to life. But in exchange, they must stop a nearby spirit that has corrupted a tribe of orcs. They agree, and with the help of the Elven Spire of Autumn, thanks to Alora's nobility, they successfully defeat the hunter spirit.
Returning to the Archfey, and each of them offering a great personal sacrifice, Juto is restored to life. The heroes reunited once again. They can finally resume their path towards Talis Val. As they make their way to the capital, however, they uncover a group that seek to overthrow the Dawn Republic and face off against a pair of their agents in the village of Faden. With one of their villains captured, our heroes learn the name of their foe, the Broken Sky.
Concerned and seeking to learn more, the heroes arrive in Talis Val. They immediately get to work, discovering a hidden cell of the Broken Sky within the great city. Things take an unpredictable twist as Trelemar and Juto attempt to join the Broken Sky, even subduing Alora to prove their loyalty. Alora manages to shapeshift and flees her confines to seek help.
Using this uneasy allegiance, the group are thrown into a trial to prove their worth, and eventually succeed. As a reward, the heroes are given the opportunity to meet the leader of the Broken Sky through a magical mirror, a woman referred to as Princess Felania. Just as Cam forces her to reveal her true nature, Korak, the Dragonborn champion of Talis Val, alongside Alora and all their allies, arrive to the rescue.
Korak faces off against Varesh, one of the Broken Sky lieutenants. At the same time, the group attempt to rescue their friends and escape. Despite Juto's initial hostility towards Korak, the heroes prove themselves very resourceful to the champion. Varesh barely manages to flee, leaving many questions left unanswered.
Returning to the surface, the heroes hope to enjoy a moment of frivolity as they perform for the Masons Guild, one of the reasons Cam needed to get to the city. The performance, while marred by jealous rivals, won the crowd, particularly with Cam's glowing hair rebirth and a peculiar granny with her evocative singing and dancing. While basking in applause, chaos erupts as the theatre is attacked. A hidden assassin leaps from the crowd to strike the champion Korak, who is left in a comatose state from a poisoned blade.
With the champion paralyzed, the party are tasked to find the cure deep beneath Talisval, in the ruins of the city that once was. And that is our tale so far. Our heroes now set off on new adventures, but the threat of the broken sky still looms over the Dawn Republic.
To HighRollers, everybody. This is the weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition stream we do here on the Yogscast Twitch page. I am your regular dungeon master, Mark Sherlock Humes.
Don't roll your R's.
Huh? Rolling my R's. Why not, Chris Trotimus?
You had to think about that too.
I did have to think about that for a moment. Joining me, as always, we have Kim.
Hey.
We have Matt.
Hello.
We have Katie.
Hello.
And we have Chris Trott.
Thank you.
That's all right. We have wonderful new cameras, as you may be able to tell. They're a little bit crisper. Hopefully they look pretty good. Make sure you do give us a little bit of feedback. Hopefully, yeah, colours should be a lot brighter and a lot crisper and things like that.
Shows up my diseased, I'm full of cold
Shut
face.
up. You don't have a diseased face.
Well, I'll cough on you, see how sick you get.
Do you want to test that?
That's mine.
No, that is mine, because we did this.
Oh,
Come on.
yes, that's
Yeah,
your very...
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, mine's actually here. Hello, welcome to HighRollers.
Stop eating the penis cookie.
Yeah, Chris is munching. Who is that from? Who are the penis cookies from?
That is from J. Duke Abides and Marlfish,
There you
whose
go.
gift from Texas finally arrived. It took so long to get it here. They had a spare bag of penis-shaped cookies, and they said, give to the person who you thinks most would like a bag of dicks. And I immediately thought of Chris Trott.
I've almost eaten 2.
Yeah. I mean, just,
you.
he's devouring those dicks.
Yeah.
He loves them.
I love a bag of dicks.
He loves them. He loves them. So, welcome back to HighRollers. We had a bit of a cliffhanger last week. The party of adventurers have been the kind of ongoing arc at the moment, a very character-specific arc, is Elora, played by Katie, is an elven noble who's journeyed with her family to one of the elven spires, the Winter Spire, to kind of create this diplomatic relations, try and bring the elven communities together. And as part of that, they uncovered some sort of mystery involving the Elven Spires. Kind of one of its eldest sons had been killed. There were people from a nearby human settlement that were being attacked as well. And under the in the process of investigating that, you found out that there is a figure, an archfey called Fenris, who has you've discovered has given some sort of curse or some sort of boon to Lord Salandris, the Lord of the Winter Spire, and his family. And they are working to unlock some sort of ritual or do something with an artifact called the Crown of Black Ice. And they appear to have gained werewolf-like properties amongst the family. You guys travelled through a demi-plane that belonged to Fenris as a way to shortcut into the Elven Spire to bypass their defences. In doing so, you encountered a few strange oddities, a frozen literal skeleton crew, who planar pirates who'd been trapped there by Fenris.
Like those guys.
A dryad who was in the employ of Fenris back when she was an archfey and had basically been forced to continue servicing and working for her, even in her frozen demiplane. And even the archfey Fenris herself, who you decided to try and bluff your way past and engage in some parley, but she demanded that Alora be left with her. At which point Cam decided to use a blade covered in a special poison to attack her, causing a grievous wound, which enraged her and almost got Cam Buckland killed. But you proceeded to defeat her, causing her form to dissipate into a blizzard, and causing her to lose a lot of her power, but she is still alive. Being an archfey, she cannot be normally killed. But you managed to make your way into the Winter Spire itself. You began searching your way through some clever use of an artifact that Trelemar is in possession of, the Shroud of Eyes. You peered through a wall using sort of X-ray vision to discover that the throne room, Lord Salandris' daughter Silval, was sitting on it with a number of guards in her full werewolf form. You decided to leave that room and instead head up to their bedchambers, where you hope to find Lord Salandris himself. However, on arrival, the doors to their bedroom were knocked down and two gigantic figures, 7 feet tall, covered in white and grey fur, their clothing ripped, was Alphadon, Elora's father, and Queen Shalana of the Autumn Spire. And that was literally where we left things last week. Minor characters, only little minor characters. So to give you a recap, the door was basically knocked down from inside, crushing the two elven guards beneath it, and Alphadon, in his kind of ripped and tattered royal clothing, and Queen Shalana in the same, had emerged from it. Their faces elongated, long wolf-like muscles, digigrade legs, so kind of like, almost like dog-like legs, long tails kind of protrude, and these massive claws. What?
Like that
yes,
guy.
basically like old, what's his name from Guild Wars here? This guy.
Wolf-faced man.
I can't remember his name.
Convenient.
But yeah, so they've got like these kind of wolf-like appearances, long, sharp claws. Alphadon is actually holding what appears to be not his normal sword. His sword doesn't seem to be around, just a long, bejeweled sword, long sword that he has obviously gained from somewhere. The one thing you didn't spot at the end of the last session, as this shock was kind of, surprised on you, is peering behind them in a brief moment before we kick things off. You do notice a few other details. Behind them, in the bedchambers, you can see two more figures. One of them is a woman in that hybrid wolf form, but unconscious, wearing clothes very similar to what Elora's mother, Eletha, was wearing, but she appears to be unconscious, sleeping almost. You can almost see like a rise and fall of her body as she's breathing. Lying down on the floor. The other figure you can see a little bit of blood pooling down her still human face, thrown against what looks to be some sort of cabinet or dresser, shattering it quite badly, is Commander Paler, still wearing her Royal Elven Guard armor, not wolf form. She appears to just be completely unchanged, but she is very clearly unconscious from some sort of heavy blow to her head. We basically begin with these two gigantic wolf forms kind of looming over this crouched door. Cam, Elora, and Juto had actually fully stepped into the room. Trelemar and Nalistri had actually remained sort of in the doorway just behind them. The two wolven figures snarl, looking around, and you can see that there's a kind of wild look in their eye as they kind of snarl at you, and they look around. What would you all like to do?
Kill Mark.
Too meta.
Too
You don't see anybody called Mark here. There is only God. It's a bit of a power trip being a DM.
God complex.
You've got it's very much a God complex. Just a bit. Oh, you don't know, Chris Troll. So, you see this very shocking, terrible sight before you. Their forms are changed, but again, you still have this recognition. Alphadon's eyes, still the kind of bright blue that you saw once before, but they now seem wild, constantly darting, looking from you all. You can see Shalana, her claws are kind of out ready at her sides, kind of hunched over in almost like a pounce-like position. Actually, they just warily eye you.
So they know that we're there.
They've seen you. You kind of had emerged through. Initially, when you came through, you only had two guards, and they were about to stop you when the door was literally crushed them from behind.
My instinctive reaction is to feign death, but
Okay.
I don't think I'll do that.
Okay. What would Cam Buckland do? Feign death?
He'd be actually quite caught up in the moment and holding back either Juto or Alora if they are showing any form of like.
So you kind of got like an arm over them,
Yeah,
sort
I'm
of
just
like holding them back.
Wait, let's think about this.
You can see like one of the Shalana, the female wolf, like almost like a drool is kind of forming in her mouth.
So hot.
And they just growl and snarl.
Do we have any of that poisoning cure?
We have one.
We have one. Is there any way that we can give it to them before they kill us? Because I don't think they're in the right minds to talk.
At the moment, are you guys making any movements, or are you just kind of keeping them
I'm
back
just
and like
keeping them back.
quietly being like, I think we should do this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, at this point, so they kind of, one of them starts moving around this way, the other one starts moving this way, very kind of like
Can that
keeping themselves back.
cure, can it be ingested? Or does it have
I
to
think
be
it
on a
has
blade?
to. No, I think you have to give it to them as like a potion.
If we've got...
It's gotta go in them
Have we
somehow.
got any meat on us that we can put it on them, distract them with the...
Can we create it? Can anyone create food?
Miss
Okay.
Laura, it is your father. Appeal to him.
Yeah, maybe there's something left in him.
You can see that they're trying to get on either side of you, very wolf-like, kind of prowling around. The sword in Alphadon's kind of furried, clawed hand grips tightly as he lowers it.
Look, our last
Juto,
resort is to knock them out.
Juto, in your ear, you hear.
Oh, whispers. No.
It's probably just the arm thing. It's probably fine. He hasn't really done whispers before. Don't really like it.
Cool. Yeah.
Look at his face.
Just DM
So,
things.
yeah, like, this is the point where what Crown Ren's saying is definitely needs to be in Juto's head
Who said
only.
it was Crown?
Well, I think
it's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious.
You have a voice.
We can metagame a little bit in that sense, like, you know, obviously the characters don't know that, so, yeah.
I'm gonna.
I mean, if you want to respond, you can whisper in my ear if you want. Yeah, just like, go on.
Where's my microphone?
Any ideas?
I am touched.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Yeah, like you can. Yeah. Just tell me if that's what you're like. It's not kind of a command at this point. It's just like him talking to you like he normally does. Like
We just need to pacify, nullify, knock him out, whatever. Don't kill him.
I'm gonna
Alphadon growls slightly.
move Cam's arm out of the way and step forward a little bit towards my dad and say, Father, stand down.
Shalana kind of keeps moving around, keeping a wary eye on Juto especially. You can almost see her like staring in the bracer with Crown Rend. She's almost like keeping a bit back from it. Alphadon, as you like look at him, he like looks down. And you kind of hear this guttural voice kind of echoing deep down. He's like, you should leave now.
This is not you.
And you can hear like a growling coming from the other side. Silence, Alphadon. We must leave now.
We have a cure.
And as you say that, they definitely seem to kind of like, their eyes kind of flash for a moment. And Alphadon is just like, go before I hurt you. I can't control this form. And you can see him like trembling, like shaking with rage.
Quickly put half in the empty that you used, and then give one each to them.
I'm gonna put.
Or do your father first.
Okay, what are you doing?
I only have one cure.
Alphadon is just like, your mother is also, I've restrained her for now, but you... And then you can see him like, he smashes his hand against this door, and it just crumples with
I'm gonna
this
run
immense
past
strength.
to my mother.
Okay, as you go to run, Shalana actually like, you catch her off guard, and it's almost like some feral instincts kick in, and she leaps at you to try and bear you to the ground, like almost like a wolf catching a rabbit, like a prey that it's startled kind of thing.
I'd probably react at that point as well.
Okay, how are you reacting before I do
I just
anything?
wish to pounce and try and block.
You're going to try and jump in the way, okay? What about you two? Anything? I'll give you a quick reaction. Trelamar's just watching. Okay, at this point, Trelamar's frozen in indecision.
I'm at the back.
It's very difficult for you to get into the room. And Alistri's kind of in the same way. He's not sure what to do. You can see him ready to try and help, but...
At seeing Shalana attack Alora, even without thinking it, I will Crown Rend.
Okay.
And go
that makes sense.
to stop
Makes sense?
Shalana.
Okay, so
Alora.
I need Elora. You need to give me an acrobatics check, please. You need to give me an athletics check, because you're trying to body check her to the ground.
Acrobatics, you said.
Natural
Yes,
20.
please. Oh, very good.
19.
So, Shalana's form, leaps, kind of, again, there was almost a moment of recognition, but the sudden movement almost spooks her, and she just, and she leaps, powerful hind legs, throwing her. But you can still that she's still a bit unsure to the form. You manage to pirouette out the way, kind of gracefully, almost spinning away. Cam, you shoulder barge and jump her, driving her to the ground, landing on top of her. But that's the point when you just see flames erupt along Juto's arm as metal, and you see Crown Rend blaze. You leap forward, make an attack with advantage as she's now prone.
I don't want to attack though, I want to pin her,
Okay.
stop her from getting up.
Okay, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Camera's taking over.
Not necessarily.
21.
Okay, so you leap in and you're going to try and pin her. Give me a strength check, but with advantage.
Strength check, so...
But you can use Crown Rend's +2 bonus. So basically, you get a +1 because you're weaker in your younger form.
19...
Okay, +1 because the Crown Rend +2 wouldn't negate it. So 20. So between the two of you, as you've got her on the ground, Juto, this metal fist just slams around Shalana's throat.
Yeah,
and you can feel this. You could end this right now with just squeezing, and you can hear Crown Rend almost in your mind, this is the best thing. You need to end her now, but you don't. You manage to hold your arm there, and you can see her, these clawed hands clawing at Crown Rend, but her claws are just shattering against the metal, and you've just got her locked in place. Cam Buckland's got her arms, just pinned her down.
Can I see? Can I insight check Juto to see if she's struggling?
Yeah, give me an insight check, sure. At this point, Elora, you rush through. You can see Alphadon kind of takes a few steps, but he's kind of you can see him crouching on the ground, holding the sword's dropped. He's clutching his furred head with these claws, desperately trying to prevent himself from doing anything against the two of you.
26.
26. There you can see Juto is sweating, and it's not from the flame. Her eyes are locked. She is fighting a very desperate internal battle right now. You can see that she's got a lot of pressure, and all she would have to do is start squeezing, and she would be choking Shalana. At the moment, she's not, but you can see that it's struggle.
I was wrapped in fur.
Yeah.
Juto, keep control. This is Shalana.
At this
Not
point,
just a wolf.
You make your way in, and you can see unconscious in a wolf-like form, still wearing the elegant, beautiful robes, but now tattered and shredded as her form's kind of grown and exploded outwards. Your mother is sleeping quite peacefully on the ground. It seems that looking at it, I'd say you've seen your father use magic before. Whilst sleep magic normally wouldn't work on an elf, your mother's not an elf anymore, and so he's used in whatever humanity he had left to just magically put her to sleep, seemingly to try and prevent her from enduring the same thing that he's going through. And you can just see her kind of peacefully sleeping, her form on the ground, completely helpless. You can easily pour the potion into her mouth if you wish to. Okay, you throw it down, and you can see you kind of just hold her throat gently, and in her sleep she just reflectively swallows, and almost immediately you begin to see the white fur dissipate, her form shrinking down. The tattered clothes do sort of slightly fall off of her, so you kind of, you can kind of throw her cloak over her shoulders and things, but her form shrinks very quickly down back to her elven self, and your mother returns almost instantaneously. I'm going to need you to make a strength check, you to make a strength check and a wisdom saving throw, and Alphadon's also going to make one. Natural 20 for Alphadon. Okay.
Here. Where did my...
Where did your what? Where did your what?
No, it's fine.
At this...
So I made a 3 plus 2, 5 on strength.
Okay, just 5, not 15, just 5, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then wisdom?
5 on that.
Okay, and what do you get on the strength?
15 on strength.
15? Okay, at this point, Shalana, like, you pinning her down is triggering feral instincts. She throws Cam Buckland off of her. You kind of smack against the wall. Not quite enough to take damage, but throw you off your thing. Juto, you are also thrown off as she kicks you with her digigrade legs, kind of launching you against the back. And that act of her attacking you, you want to fight back now. Like, this is getting to the point where it's a struggle to try and prevent yourself. She leaps up. Althadon, however, you can see him just... and he roars. He charges forward and is going to attempt to knock Shalana to the ground, which he does with a natural 20. Again, 2 natural 20s for Althadon. He slams her to the ground, and then using what kind of tattered clothing remains she has, he snatches up the bejeweled sword, slams it down, and actually gets it through part of the flagstone. You can see with this immense strength, just pins a kind of part of her dress to the ground. And then he just looks around. He seems to lock eyes with Cam, actually, because you spoke to him quite a lot when you were traveling to him. You kind of had this kind of bond, kind of friendship thing going on.
In front of him there.
He just looks at you, and he's just like, "Do not let Elora come after me until you have a cure." He turns, and you can see him run and leap out of a window. He basically throughs the window and throws himself outwards, out onto the edge of the spire, basically.
Okay. And she looks quite pinned. Almost.
She's struggling, trying to tear at the clothing, but it's not going to hold her for very long. What would you two like to do at this point? You can see your mother is clearly returning to her human form. Payla seems unconscious. You're not sure if she's alive. There's clearly a bad head wound.
Cure wounds on Payla.
Okay, roll the cure wounds. Trelemar, what would you like to do at this point?
Eldritch Blast.
9.
9, okay.
I will. Ooh. Oh, I don't know.
I'm shaking a little bit. This is fun.
I will. Bear with me.
That's fine. I'm also going to look at something from the Lystri, So, what do you get on your cure wounds over there?
9.
A 9, okay. You go up to her and you cast the magic and you see that there was still life in her. She had probably been knocked unconscious, but she had very badly been injured. And as you get closer, you can see that there are several, stab wounds in her armor from some sort of bladed knife. She kind of, takes in a deep breath. Shalana, where? And she, looks around. She's like, where is she? What's happened?
She's outside. She's pinned down. Don't worry. We need to get you and my mother out of here.
Your mother, she's one of those. And then she looks over. She's like, what? All right, give me a second. And she wipes her eyes. She's like, where's that?
Is my mother awake now?
What's that?
Is my mother awake?
No, she still seems peacefully sleeping, actually. She
Okay.
almost seems to be peaceful. She's just like, we need to be careful. That bitch Sylval is around somewhere.
She's in the throne room.
All right, good. Give me your mother, I'll carry her. And she lifts your mother up. Payla's quite strong, so she kind of carries her quite easily. Fuck, no, that won't work. Okay, so that's what you guys are doing.
I hear that, right?
Yeah, you basically hear Payla shouting to Elora.
I'm going to shuffle away from this situation of a pinned wolf right in front of me, and towards Elora and Paylor.
So you go around this way.
And I pick my head around the door, as I guess she's been lifted by Paylor.
Yeah, Payla's fine and carrying her basically.
Paylor, I'm glad you're safe. Please, any information on how we can fix this, resolve the curse?
I don't know.
How did it happen?
And she's like, all right, we need to find a way to secure Shalana first. This is going to take some explaining. We need to find a way to, I don't know, manacle her, something. We need to stop her from rampaging.
I'm going to shout to Nalistri and...
Nalistri's he kind of steps forward. He's like, I'm thinking,
A sleep spell? Anything?
I don't know. I don't know that spell.
Some sort of protective... Your walls.
Is there anywhere in this palace that there would be somewhere that can contain her?
Yes, they must have prisons. Yes, they'll be downstairs. They'll have a jail.
We can't move her.
Can I use Dimension Door to get her to the prison?
You've never seen it before. That might be tricky, but...
If Trell goes down there, he can Dimension Door there to here.
Yes, but it will only work one way with that spell.
Send Granamir.
Yes, send Granamir. I can direct
He
him.
he can show you a picture of it. You can do it.
And then you can teleport directly into a cell, and that should hold her for the time being.
Cool.
And he's like, in the meantime, and he creates, it's very weak, but kind of like rings of frost around her, which, along with the pin that your father did, seems to at least be kind of preventing her from fully freeing herself at this time. Juto, what are you doing in a minute? Like, you can feel this kind of rage building up.
I don't know.
You don't know? What would Juto do at this point? You are at least aware. Give me a straight up wisdom check. So just roll d20 plus your wisdom modifier.
Is Alora aware of what's going on with Juto right now?
No.
Not at all.
Cam is the only one.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, I would say there is an element, you know that this isn't you. Like, this rage you feel, this hatred towards this woman, it's not from Juto. This is definitely something that Crown Wren's transformed state is evoking in you. It's not him, he's not telling you to do it, but he's making you angrier just by being there. You've never had a problem with this woman. She was kind to you, you've helped her save her people.
She helped bring me back to life.
She helped bring you back to life. You know, this is, and that manages to kind of hold you back for now, and you are aware that this is not Crown Wren's doing, but he is not helping your anger. The anger that you've buried deep down, it's kind of stoking the flames, effectively. All those, fears and hatred from your time as a slave, your resentment towards authority, it's just making it worse. Every time you use this transformation, it makes it worse. And that's what you realise at this point.
I'm going to, thinking of all of this,
Mm-hmm.
can I see that Alora is safe?
You can see Elora basically emerging, Pela carrying her mother in a human form, kind of draped with a large cloak. Elora, I'm guessing at this point you still look panicked and afraid, but you know that your mother's safe, so you probably are at least a little bit relieved in that, I'd imagine. You can see
I'm just
Cam.
making sure that she's okay. I'm like stroking her hair, making sure
she
she's
seems
alive
fine.
and
Like,
good
she
and-
seems completely fine, just asleep, peacefully asleep, unaware.
I'm going to try and just push myself out of the room, get away from Shalana.
Mm-hmm.
Just push past Trell and
Yeah, so you kind of push your way back, and you can see the currently active, actually, Nelly Street left it active, the portal leading to the other parts of the spires. You manage to kind of hold yourself against the wall. And there's a moment where you can feel Crown Wren trying to talk to you, but you're just blocking it out. You're trying to think of all these different things, just try and keep that voice out of your head for the time being. You want to kind of clear it for a moment. You almost actually imagine Guan Yin's kind of meditative teachings that you had when you were on the plane, and you're kind of trying to breathe in, and you're trying to clear your mind.
essentially stop having a panic attack.
Yeah, basically, yeah, effectively. It's almost like a rage-based panic attack almost.
I shout to everybody as she's pushing past Trell, leave Juto. She's fighting Crown Wren right now.
Okay.
She needs space.
That's what you say? Okay, so at this point, you send Granamir down. Nelly Street basically speaks to you and guides you through the thing. Whilst you're doing this, Shalana's going to have a few attempts to try and escape. Roll that properly. 5, 6,
7,
3.
8.
So Nelistry's the mixture of Nelistry's icy bands and the pinned in clothing, she can't quite free herself. It's too awkward. You can see her getting very, very angry, like a snarling rabid animal, just lashing around, desperately trying to free herself. But eventually, through Nelistry's guiding, he's like, no, left, go down these stairs, find this way, avoid that, fly up on, and you're kind of avoiding guards, kind of like a first-person Granamir stealth game. You'll fly up and hide in a perchway of a thing, then swoop down, fly your way down. But eventually, you make your way down throughout the spire, and there is a basement level. You fly past a couple of guards, and there is a small selection of cells made from ice, thick, magically enforced ice. There is no keys. It looks like it might be controlled by the Winterspire family themselves. But yeah, you know where they are. What is the range on Dimension Door? Have you got it there?
500 feet.
Okay, you're going to have to get her down closer. Nelistry said, he's like, if we can get her through the portal to the main foyer, that should be close enough. But we need to move her there so that Trelemar can do this.
Okay.
I don't know who's strongest. I don't know if I can do anything to hold her.
It's going to require multiple people
All right, okay.
to restrain her. Is there anything we can bind her hands and legs with? And her mouth?
Do you have rope or anything like that with you?
Hempen
we
rope?
have, yeah.
It's something. While she's pinned, we may as well try.
Okay, I'm going to...
So, I need you to give me a sleight of hand check, just to see how secure the knots are.
19.
19. Okay, really secure. You watch as Cam, like, very quickly, kind of using the Buckland tradition, he like throws the rope around her. Used to tying down caravans and the merchant wagons for
tying up people as well.
Tying up people as well. That is the Buckland way. As you like basically like kind of cover in bondage, like just ropes all wrapped around her arms, around her mouth.
Too.
That as well, and her legs. Nalistry's used his elemental. He can't bring that back. Yep, he basically just maintains his like icy bands around her. Who is going to try and move her?
I think it should multiple people.
Yeah, I'll try and...
people.
So you're basically going to drag her and stuff like that. Okay, so you guys begin dragging her way through. Nalistry activates the portal.
Can I do some sort of continual reaction that if any, I'm looking at the rope bindings, if any of them start to fray or start to break, I'm going to use command.
And if that happens, I'm going to Druidcraft vines as well.
Yep.
I might actually just Druidcraft some more vines around here.
Yeah,
just
like
in case.
you and Nalistry are both kind of keeping this thing on her. I'd say with all your preparation that you're doing, with the good 19 roll on the rope check, with the Druid-crafted vines, Nalistry's magic, and then you guys dragging her, she can't break free at this time. Like, she has no leverage to do it.
All right.
You guys start dragging her towards the portal, which is towards Juto. How you doing at this point?
Am I better? Am I through?
Well, I mean, you've been meditating it. I mean, try and think of it like, imagine all of those things that Juto hates, all of that kind of childhood rage built up, but you know that it's kind of not you. I would guess that you would just try and, I don't know, like, what would you do as your character?
Can I speak to Crownrend?
Yes, of course.
And I want to say, Crownrend, this woman saved my life. If she had not done so, you would still be in your prison. The anger is just, and people need to die, but she is not the one.
You hear this kind of grumble, and he's just like, this is not the woman who saved you. This is a beast transform.
But she saved me, and we deserve to save her. It is just.
You are naive little demon. Give me a persuasion check.
Natural 20.
Oh, dang! Just got served.
Very well, little demon. But I want the one that cursed her.
That is fair.
Very well. And his voice just grows distant.
Can I convince him to help me move her?
I would say with that natural 20, he'll say, for now, my strength is yours to command, but you will give me the Lord's head. You just hear that as the last kind of thing. You feel completely in control. The anger subsides for a moment, and you feel completely in control.
So I'll walk back in and I'll help move Shalana.
Okay.
Gonna give a good look at Juto and make sure that it's Juto.
Give me an insight check. Go on, Katie, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I was going to say
Do
if I
insight
could
check as well?
have a look at Juto.
4.
Oh.
We just look at her.
9.
Really. Oh wait, I've got a +9.
Can I go up to Juto? Because
I mean,
he announced that she was...
Yeah, absolutely, he did, yeah. Like, Nalistry's like a bit confused, but yeah, you guys go ahead and do what
I
you
want to
do.
just go up to Juto, take her by the face and say, this is not you, we need you just now. Do not give in. And then just keep going with Shalana.
Okay, so you guys drag her through. You take her down into the portal, and Nalistry activates it, and you feel...
Oh, we dragged her.
You pretty much drag her,
cool.
like
Juto just one-hands it.
Juto's got one hand. Crownland makes her stronger, but because she's not naturally strong, it's not like she's superhuman. Like, she's strong, but like is still having to heft this big, heavy wolf woman, basically, who's now wrapped in like various bindings. You drag her through, you get her through the portal, and you feel this kind of sudden rush of air. You find yourselves in the foyer. You can see that there are Winterspire guards running around. They kind of stop for a moment, look at you, see you have one of the werewolf tied up, and they just kind of back off. Like, they don't seem to approach you. You actually recognize one of them as one of the guards that when you first came into the kind of Winterspire, and when the marshal was on the gates, there was a guard captain who was kind of giving the marshal shit. He kind of like looks at you, and he's just like, if you can stop this madness, I'll keep everybody out of your way.
Good. Protect us. We're the only
I don't
ones
know
that
how
can
much
help.
we can do, but you need to deal with the Lord. If he kills you,
Where
I
is
can't
he?
promise anything. I don't know. He's somewhere upstairs. I don't know. I would have assumed the throne room. Payla's like, I'll tell you more once we get her safe.
All right, just shout if you see anything or anyone coming towards us.
All right, will do. I'll keep my men. But there's still a few who are loyal to the true Windspire, so...
Good.
All right. And with that, Trelamar, are you going to cast Dimension Door?
Yes.
You feel, you grab the body, basically you latch onto Shalana, boom, you appear inside this cell with her. She's still bound. Dimension Door, I believe, is it one way or is it two way?
Good question.
We grab him and pull him back.
I think it's not even, I think it's like a teleport. It's not like a portal, I don't think. Dimension Door, I've got it here.
Damn. It's vast.
Oh, actually, right. So,
Oh.
right, here's the problem. Shalana is not a willing creature. You can only take a willing creature with you. So, I'm going to give her a saving throw. Okay. So, you go to kind of wrap your arms around her. You don't use this expend the spell, because we didn't check this firsthand. You kind of go to summon the magic, but you can sense that because she's not willing, you can't teleport her down. And Nalistri kind of looks at you, he's like, nah, Cam, can you charm her or something, or convince her that we're her allies, and let Trelamar take her?
I can do Beacon of Hope, which is a
Can I
type
go
of
up to
charm.
her and I want to look her right in the eyes and say,
You just see this wild, like,
yeah, Shalana, Payla is waiting for you, but you have to come with us.
you can just see her like snarling. Give me a persuasion check.
Can I try and charm person at the same time?
Well, let's see what happens with this.
11.
Okay, 11. You kind of see her and she like, you can see and she's just like, if we hadn't come here, this wouldn't have happened.
Nothing would have happened if we didn't come here, but we had to. And Payla's waiting for you, and you have to get married to her. You can't leave now. You need to go with us. Trial needs to take you to safety where you can't hurt anyone.
Okay, so as you say that, you can see tears starting to well up in her eyes, and she just kind of goes still for a moment, and there's just a very slight nod of her head. Not much, but just enough that you can read it that she at least seems to have, something got through to her, basically.
Trial, go.
This time, the spell works. Mark off spell slot, whatever, one of your spell slots, and boom, you appear in this icy kind of prison. Her body kind of goes limp, and you just see her, she kind of like rolls onto her side, and you just hear this soft kind of go. But you are in this icy prison.
Can we see the prison? Are we like...
You are like upstairs. So imagine like you guys are in the spire, right? You kind of got down into the main sort of entryway. The prisons, as like were guided by Granamir and Nalistri, are like several floors below, like kind of underground. Trelamar used magic to go woomph, like downwards.
Shit.
So you don't know what's happened to him. You don't know the spell. So yeah, Trelamar, you are basically in this kind of small cell, icy bars in front of you. Granamir is kind of like looking at you from outside the bars where you left him.
Don't think this through.
Granamir just kind of just like from outside the bars.
Can I not use it again and go back?
You could do, yeah, but it'd cost you another spell slot.
Are we with Nalistri?
Huh?
Are we with
Yeah, you guys are upstairs with Nalistri, and like Nalistri's
So,
like,
how long does it take for him to get back?
I don't know. I mean, I know a little bit about teleportation magic, but I don't know that spell in particular.
We should head down there.
Yes, well, I mean, what? All right, I suppose we should. What if he comes back?
Me and you go down there. You
All right,
guys
yes,
stay here.
yes, that's a good idea. Yes, that's a good idea. Come on. All
Let's
right,
go.
all right. So the two of you make your way downstairs. It takes you a few moments, but you do. As you're coming down one of the corridors, you spot that there are two guards guarding stairway down.
I push back Nalistri.
You're like, no, I'm still bound.
I do. Oh, okay. You go ahead. And I take off.
They need to think that I'm evil. He's like, they need to think I'm evil. Well, how can I make that like?
Can I do some growls and stuff?
Maybe I throw you around.
Oh,
Be like
yeah.
a prisoner,
You just want to hurt me, don't you? You just want to hurt me, don't you?
No.
Punch me across the face.
All right, okay. So he goes to punch you, and he slips a bit, and it like just sails past your head.
I just roll my eyes.
And he kind of trips over.
And I punch myself.
You give yourself a black eye. He's like, okay.
And I like hold up the back of my scruff and
Okay.
grab.
Okay, hang on. he does like a minor illusion to kind of give him like wolf-like eyes. And he's like, see this? Okay, good.
Just go.
He grabs it and he like shoves you forward. Let's see how he does with his charisma of 9.
I'm gonna bless him, which gives him a +4 d4.
Oh yes, okay, yep, sure. So he throws you forward and then he points at the 2 guards. Ooh. You there, miserable guards! I have a prisoner for downstairs. Get out of my way.
I'm shocked.
They look at him and they're like, Lord Nalistri, I wasn't aware you were returned. Yes, my father has given me his gift as well. Step aside, out of my way. And they're like, oh, of course, my lord. And they step to the side and he's like, get down there, prisoner. And you just basically make your way down there. Like, you kind of go down a few steps and eventually you kind of come to this long hallway and you can see Trelemar stood in this icy prison, Granimir on the outside looking at him.
So, dimension door.
Yeah.
Guess you want out.
Yeah.
Alright,
Give me a second. Go on,
What are
what
you
are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What are you doing?
Well, I was going to use magic.
Just someone get me out.
Well, use your magic.
Well, what were you going to do?
I was going to give him my cloak so he could turn into a raven and squeeze through the bars.
Oh, let's save that. Yeah, okay. Nanisha uses his magic, and it seems to be because he is part of the family. He can control some of the magic around the spire, and like the ice bars just kind of melt away. Trelemar steps forward, and then he puts them back again.
It's not just ice, right?
What?
That keeps...
It's magic ice.
Right, good.
That's fine.
For wolves like that?
Should be.
Okay. Well, let's leave before they... At least she won't know where we are.
That's a good idea.
Let's go back up to the others.
All right, yes. How are we going to get past those guards? There's 2 guards up there, Trelemar. We snuck past them, but I kind of said that I was bringing Cam down as a prisoner.
Is there another way?
Right.
Not as far as I know.
God damn it. Do you have charm?
No. I can charm these 2 guards.
Oh God.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh God.
No. You mean...
No, he can charm them.
No,
It's
he
fine.
hasn't got...
What do you mean?
Fine.
I just walk off.
No, Trelemar.
I walk off in that
I've
direction.
seen, he's a very competent magic user, Cam. Like I know power when I've seen it, and Trelemar is very powerful.
By all means,
Right,
watch the
let's
show.
go. All right, let's go. Go on. So you kind of step up the stairs, and yeah, these 2 guards, when they look, they're like, hang on, who are you?
I transform into Granny Trail
Oh, okay, so before you
as
head
I'm
up.
going up the stairs.
Oh, okay. They're like, old woman, who are you?
Oh, boys, you've got to help me! Oh, there's some bloody awful wolves going around here. Can you help an old maid from the kitchens?
Give me a persuasion check with.
Oh, God.
I mean, you
Just
could
a
have.
persuasion.
You
didn't roll a 2.
Into Silval or anything like that. But Granny
fuck.
Trail.
Where are we?
Persuade.
I'm having a cookie so I can enjoy this.
God, no.
Time to eat a dick.
21.
21. They're like, I didn't know that we had a human kitchen woman. It's like, no, I didn't either. Maybe she came in with the others.
Look, one of my boobs falls out.
Oh God! Oh,
Look, they ripped me clothes as
Human-
I tried to get away.
the
It was
two
awful.
two elves are just like, oh, they're so disgusting. Humans. No, come on, please. Yeah, we'll sort it out. Come on, up you
Oh,
get.
thank you. You're such a nice young man.
Oh,
You're so handsome.
I'm not a man. I'm an elf.
You remind me of my husband.
I'm sure that that's not true.
Oh, you do. Same jawline.
And are you
and
leading them
everything.
away? Are you like leading them away? Like they're like, yeah, come on, and they're like, we'll take you to the main foyer, and they're like leading
thank
you
you.
away. And at least he's like,
I'm just blank, looking at him.
so you two kind of come up behind, like letting Granny Trail lead them away. You eventually get to the point where you're coming up to the main foyer where you know Laura and Juto and Pela are waiting. What do you want to do about these 2 guards following you? Because that's where they're taking you towards.
That's all right. We'll just ambush them.
Okay.
Go and get them.
So, like, eventually, so you watch as Granny Trell walks out of, like, one of these corridors, this icy kind of corridor in this big icy foyer, and you watch as Granny Trell emerges with 2 guards who kind of look around, very confused, and then you are kind of coming up behind them, like you and Nalistri, and Nalistri kind of looks at you and is like,
We hit them around the head.
oh, okay, me,
Harder than you hit me.
okay. And he gets his little staff out.
Maybe with a spell?
Okay,
Just a little one.
okay. What are you doing?
I'm going to use the butt end of Nimbus.
Okay.
Smash around the back.
Okay, so you have advantage because they're surprised.
Goody gum drops. I 19 plus 7.
Yep, so give me damage with Nimbus.
Brain damage.
Lol. 7.
Okay, actually, between Nalistri as well, you manage to, like, he kind of fires out this blast of, like, ice, like a kind of very thick snowball almost. Boonk, hits one guard in the back of the head, falls down, other guard turns around, you, boonk, falls down to the ground as well, and collapses unconscious.
I'm just going to look at Trell, horrified.
What?
With one boob out.
You watch, Peter's just like, Dark Elf, can you please transform back? I'm not sure this is really the right time.
As Juto sees this as well with Granny Trell, Crown Wren just disappears.
Just like, just fades away.
Just goes.
Crown goes flaccid.
Yeah, just like,
I was trying to be subtle, guys. Come on.
right.
Can we
now-
attempt to hide those bodies?
Yes, let's.
Just a little bit.
We'll, there's like a servants' quarter that you kind of drag them off to. Whilst you're doing that, Pela kind of turns to you and he's like, "So I only remember a little of what happened before Althadon knocked me across the room, but I remember the Salandris. He invited us all up to his chambers. He said he had something very important to tell us, but he was sick, so he was staying in his chambers. From what we had understood, he wasn't feeling well. The death of his son, we didn't suspect a thing." When we get up there, Silval and Malice Endel, his wife, are waiting with us. He's sat on the bed, dressed in his refinery. And he begins telling us that, well, he has these grand plans for the elven people, that he needs the royal bloods of all of the spires to work together. But he knew that we wouldn't approve of his methods or something like that. And that's when Silval and Malice Endel bit Shalana, Althadon, and Aletha. They didn't bite me. I remember Salandris saying something like he didn't care who Shalana loved, but to ensure lineage would continue, I couldn't join the family, or something like that. He knocked me across. When Althadon, he began transforming, he turned into the creature you saw. I tried to leap forward, I tried to attack Salandris, but Althadon, he hit me so hard I lost consciousness. I do remember that Salandris, I remember a hazy vision. They talked about going to the throne room, that they were heading to the top of the spire, something about some sort of secret staircase or secret way. It leads up to the very top of the spire. And that's the last thing I heard. I know that Silval, she attacked me as well. I was trying to come conscious. She stabbed me in the wound that you saw, saying that she would guard the throne room or something like that. Thank you for ensuring that Shalana's safe. I hope that we can find a way to reverse whatever's been done. What did you use on your mother? Some spell or?
It was an antidote given to us by a dryad.
A dryad. Can we get more? Can we go back to her? Can we find something?
It was called Winter's Wolfsbane.
We may not be able to go back, but I do have some arrows that are coated in it.
Maybe it's worth a try.
If we go to an alchemist or something that they can break down what ingredients are inside it.
We know an alchemist. We met one. He's in Telesval.
It's a long way from here. It's a long journey.
It is.
I don't know what that was. I'm worried that if you've put this antidote on these arrows, it could wear off or the air might expose it. Is there a way that you can secure some of them or something to preserve them somehow?
I guess we could seal them in something.
Perhaps.
I could try.
Like a water skin or something airtight perhaps?
Yeah.
I'll try and do that with you.
Okay, so you like snap off an arrowhead, shove it in like a water skin and kind of try and stopper it. Pela's like, I'm pretty injured, but I'll help you if you need help fighting. Like anything to avenge them.
More healing?
Give me a minute and I should be able to, I'll be alright. If we can take a few moments maybe.
What do we think's going to be up there?
Salandris.
And?
His wife. And from what I know, Nalistri kind of steps forward, he's like, my mother is my aunt, I suppose. She's a powerful sorceress, and my father was once a better swordsman than even Elora's father. Obviously, age has slowed them now, but they'll still be quite formidable, especially if they have forms like Elora's father.
I mean, time is of the essence. However, are we in a fit state to face such powerful...
I don't think we can take a long time, but if you can give me an hour, I've got an idea.
Okay.
If that's all right. I mean, we'll need to go through this throne room, and from what Trelemar told us, Silval is waiting for us. We either need to decide to fight her or to try and get past her somehow. If we can take an hour, I've got an idea that at least might give us a surprise against my father.
Well,
And Silver, it sounds like Pela may need some time to recover as well.
I think we all do. We've just fought an archfey.
Yes. Lady Allura, you all right?
Where's my mother?
Pela's currently still got her, like, we can secure her in a bedroom or something like that for now, if you'd like. She should be safe for the time being.
She's still asleep though.
Yes, yeah, she seems completely asleep. Yeah, Nalistri, when he kind of like looks at her, he's just like, it should last about 8 hours, I think, the spell that your father used.
As long as she's safe.
I think so.
She's kind of vulnerable in this state, though.
Pela's like, I can look after her if you wish. I mean,
That puts us one person down.
it does.
However,
I'm not sure how much use I'll be anyway, but...
We can't
What
just...
happened to the Frost Giant and the Marshal that
You left those guys, so when you were making your way into Fenris's den, you told the Frost Giant to kind of wait outside for you to hear from you. And the Marshal, the last thing you remember is that they were heading towards the Frostspire, but you did send Granamir and Whisper to tell them to come and meet with the Frost Giant, basically.
We still have a way to contact him. The horn.
It's true.
We could call him.
It will take him some time to get here, but it could be some sort of, perhaps if we need an hour anyway, it might prove as some sort of diversion.
Yeah.
Sylval might rush out to fight them.
Better than nothing.
All right, well, shall we do that? Pela's just like, do you want me to look after your mother? I'm more than happy to do so.
Somebody has to look after her. I can't leave her.
Yeah.
I will protect her with my life.
And we're not taking her to the throne room.
Yes, of course. You guys manage to find like a servant's quarter, and Nalistri takes you to one. You lay Aletha on the bed. Pela basically kind of takes a moment. She kind of like goes on her knees. She finds a blade, like she finds like a guardsman's blade, probably the ones that you guys knocked out. She's got a spear and a shield, and she basically just is prepared to fight anything that comes through the door when you leave.
Best to keep her comfortable, however, we should hide her as well. We shouldn't just keep her exposed. If someone were to come in here and see that the
I'll
Queen
kill
is-
them.
However, we shouldn't even suspect that she's even here. Just you.
We could perhaps store her under the covers or something, perhaps.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I'll do my best. But yes, if anybody comes in and has any sort of ill intent, I will put them on the
I know.
ground.
I'm just trying to minimize risks.
Yes, very well. All right. So you guys are going to take an hour, which will basically be a short rest. So you can spend hit dice at this point, but you do not only Trelamar regains his spell slots.
Correct.
You get your key points back,
I get beast shape.
and you get beast shapes back.
Can't get shit. 1.
Keep that in mind. Given what he said to you, there might be some element of that can come
Right,
back.
cancelling it down.
Just so you're aware.
So yeah, spend hit dice as per short rest.
I've got rubber.
I don't. That's the one thing I forgot to bring with me actually once.
Floor.
Oh.
It was too flimsy.
I do
so-
somewhere, but it's far. So.
Okay.
What are you asking to borrow?
Right, while you guys are doing this, I need to rearrange this room. Okay, so
Christ. It's right there. Oh. So is that. Does my dust loot get stuff back after a short rest?
no,
It's
No.
per day.
it's per day.
Per day.
Feels like it's been 20 days.
Where's all my other things?
Tower.
We haven't stopped for a good sleep in a long time.
In a very long time, Bilbo Baggins.
Baggins is.
Can I do this differently? I think I might have done. I was planning this encounter out.
So how are you feeling,
Perky?
Katie?
Not great. I can have that rubber back. I forgot.
Your mum's alright though.
Yeah.
Mama. And Althodon is at least not here to be killed.
Yeah, I rolled pretty fucking well when I was doing him.
He's at least gone to, your
would
way
have. That's
from
what you
society.
would have
Outside.
wanted.
I think we all rolled
Yeah,
pretty
but
well.
knowing Mark, he'll end up being like the nearby townsfolk will see him running through the through
Don't
the
say
woods.
that. Don't give him
Like,
ideas.
Oh shit! But
Don't give him ideas.
Well, you are insinuating some pretty crazy things.
Look at this world being built before our very eyes.
Yeah, this is Mark not remembering how he actually did it last time. That's the problem.
It's like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Which is hidden from the fans.
Oh,
is
nice.
it? Oh, good job, Steve. While I'm
HighRollers is a
fucking up.
Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. Watch it every day right now. Sundays.
Every day, Sundays.
Every
Read some
Sunday.
donations while.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It looks like it's almost a room now. It's cool.
Almost.
Look, I know what I'm doing.
I like that these doors open.
Yeah,
it's
they're
cool,
really
isn't it?
cool.
What's this, Mark? Plug it.
This is
Dwarven Forge.
Dwarven Forge. Shut up, Tron. Trying to fucking think.
Dwarven Forge.
I can't do this while I'm
Do
fucking
you really
thinking.
enjoy 3D maps, making maps out of really nice materials that have been driven over and thrown from multi-story buildings and survived?
What?
They did tests on like
Oh,
this
really?
material. It's like
Oh,
really
really?
rigid. Someone drove a car over it and it was fine. It's
Just
Dwarven
in
Forge.
case
It's
Just in case.
premium.
you planned on driving
Premium
over
quality
your
stuff.
D&D table.
I kind of want to take it out into the.
Now, Dwarven Forge, send us
Wow.
free
Yeah,
stuff.
this is actually my Dwarven Forge, so
It's
please
mine.
don't.
Apparently,
We haven't got a
it won't
sponsorship
hurt.
yet.
Oh man, if Dwarven Forge want to send me any stuff, just saying. I got no.
Just
beef with it.
saying.
I don't really have anything good for throne, so.
There's a bed.
Trell, are
Yeah,
you
that
in
kind
the
of-
bed?
That's gonna be the.
No, I put
throne.
Cam there.
Use the back of it.
Can't.
Okay.
Like turn it
I thought you
vertically.
just placed yourself in the bed for a
That's
second.
it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that kind of works. There's two of
I
them.
mean, yeah, it's just
Look, shut up.
that's the thing. Lovely.
Use your imagination.
I have no imagination.
Good to know.
So Mark just paints our imaginations for us.
Oh, he tries.
Well, it was just that revelation I had the other day that Juto is Hellboy.
Mm.
You know, just
Right.
I thought I was being original. Turns out I wasn't.
Okay.
I
Cool.
forgot about
So,
this.
you guys, have you done all of your hit dice? You've gained
remembered.
HPs and everything back from your short rest.
Got all my spell slots back.
Okay. Whilst you
keep
guys
those back.
whilst you guys have been taking the short rest, you notice that Listri has pulled out he has like these white gloves that he has with his kind of outfit, and he's been tracing some sort of symbol on the palm of the glove, kind of deep in concentration, kind of like focusing like his magical energy, and then you kind of watch as this glyph kind of appears, and then it fades away, and he kind of closes his hand, and after the hour or so, he's like, okay, are we ready?
What were you doing?
It's probably not going to work. It's just something to give us a surprise if we have to fight my father. I'm not even sure it will work, but
Are you prepared to do that?
yes.
Did
I
we
am very
call
much prepared.
Sphere?
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys did that, so you kind of blew this horn, and it makes like a very loud sound, but it kind of doesn't seem to go beyond the room. It's very strange. Like there's this magical thing of like the room reverberates, but there is no indication that anybody else has heard it really.
That's good. At least.
Cool.
Don't
It
want
just
to
kind of
draw people
reverberates
to
out.
us.
And you begin making your way up. You guys make your way through towards the throne room. You know that there are a couple of offshoot rooms, and you have these large double doors which Trelemar peered through, these icicle, kind of ice-like double doors that lead into a long throne room with kind of columns down one side that lead to a raised platform with two thrones, behind which there was like a large kind of recessed part of the wall with a large tapestry a large portrait kind of hanging down. Kind of showing the whole family, the whole Winterspire family. You guys make your way there, and there is kind of, as you're getting ready to kind of, make your move, there is a large commotion, and you begin hearing shouts kind of coming from all throughout the Winterspire. Just kind of cries of just like, archers to arms, and, kind of like, we need more men outside, and things like that. It's difficult to hear what's going on outside entirely, but you do begin to hear kind of these things going off. What are you guys doing? Are you guys trying to hide? Are you just going to wait in a nearby room until you hear something? What are you guys doing? You know where Sylvar was. She was in this throne room, which I've currently put you guys outside of, but I don't know if you guys wanted to move off and try and hide, or if you want to, use spells or anything like that. So
We see if
I can
she
see
goes
through the-
outside.
Yeah.
We want her to go
Do you want to see
outside.
through it? Yeah.
I'll use a charge.
okay, you use a charge and you peer through, and a couple of the guardsmen coming from a side, probably who entered before you guys did actually. There is a guard talking to her, and you can just hear. You can't hear their conversation very well, but you can see kind of frantically talking to her, like. And she kind of waves a hand, and the two guards that were with her go, but she doesn't show any sign of moving.
Yeah. That.
Okay.
She's got
Did they go out
You can see
another door?
No, the three guards are
They're
heading
coming,
their way towards
so
the
we
door.
need to move away from
Okay,
the door then.
so you guys
Right.
move away. I'm assuming like you're
Yeah.
just ducked down past the corridor. You hear the door open, and then the three guards make their way out.
Seeing through walls and doors is very useful.
It's good, isn't it?
It is.
It's a very powerful artifact.
We should, if we can, avoid confrontation with
Yes,
Sylval.
I agree.
We should bring her out the room.
She's a very competent hunter. If she's in a mood, she'll fight us.
It's been an hour and we haven't heard anything from the Frost Giant.
I mean, there's clearly something going
Something's
on.
going
from what
on.
Trellamar said,
True.
But I mean, I think at most this is probably the best version we're going to have.
Even that's not enough to bring Sylval even out to look at the situation.
Nalistri kind of looks over and he's like, Sylval, she's always been very independent. I imagine that she's been given strict orders by my father not to leave there. If there's a secret door that leads up to the roof of the spire, which I've never heard about, she's been told to protect it, which means he's scared of something. Probably us.
Trell, we've had moments with Sylval before.
Yes.
Maybe we can use that to our advantage to draw her out and then spring a trap.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
I think we could be capable of bringing her out of this room, at least temporarily. Under the guise of, we're here, ready.
Ready to carry on where we
We're all
left off.
we're all gonna die anyway. Why not go out with a bang? What do you think?
But yeah, I think that's a good idea. But what are we going to do to...
When it inevitably fails.
Yeah, I mean, if we need to come up with
Plan
a
B.
bit of a plan.
Plan B is we shout help and everybody springs to action and we fight her.
That is a plan B, yes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want to draw her into.
Is there? I mean, do you think you might be able to charm her or something like that? Get her out of our way
I
temporarily.
can try and charm her.
I mean, it might work. Or I don't know if Trelamar's magic. If you've got anything that you can do in that regard, like get rid of her, just temporarily, so we can get past her, perhaps.
I'm very limited what I can do, but I can charm.
I mean,
But
I know
it's-
that already, Cam Buckland, but
Now's not the time.
no,
Nalistri.
it's not. No, you're right. It's terrible timing. I'm so sorry, Miss Allura. I'm so sorry.
I can set fire to her.
Yeah, but that will only make her angrier, I think.
As you guys are talking, you've kind of been sensing it, and you kind of got used to it. Like whilst you were dealing with Allura's parents, while you were kind of resting, there's always been this kind of weird pulsating energy coming from above you somewhere. It's kind of been very rhythmic, like a heartbeat, just like boom, 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 kind of all coming down in momentous beats. It's kind of been so quiet and subtle that you kind of got used to it, but you're starting to notice that beating's getting quicker. Boom, 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 boom. It's like increasing in rapidity.
It's getting a bit frantic.
We need to go
Yeah,
now.
Why don't you
Whatever.
suggest that she leaves?
Yeah.
If that fails, I'll try a charm, but it's a low level.
Okay.
We can but try. So if we
Let's go for
hide
it.
here and then the two of you try and lead her out,
You
perhaps,
guys
or
keep back in the shadows, and if for some reason she attacks us, you at least have the advantage.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'll
I'll give you moral support, and I go into the shadows.
Nalistri, to try and kind of keep you guys hidden, he'll conjure a fog cloud around here, which kind of keeps it obscured and things like that.
Okay.
And will have the effect of when you open the doors, it will look really cool and dramatic when you and Trell walk out. Yeah. So he's going to do that. So that's one of. So he's got three of those left now. So yeah. So you guys open the door.
Let's go in with confidence, Trell.
I walk in and say, "Hey, honey, I'm home."
Oh
Okay, let's just move that. So 1, 2, and I will use this one for Sylval. You can see Sylval lounging her wolven form, kind of these digigrade legs up on the side of the throne, kind of ripped what were her once very tight, like leather kind of hunting trousers, now have gigantic splits down the seams. They're basically in tatters, ready to kind of fall off. Her kind of once bodice is like completely ripped. Like her wolven form, she still has a sword belt, and you can see a long knife kind of sheathed on her side. And her kind of dark hair is kind of spilling all around her shoulders, her long muzzle. Very Worgen from World of Warcraft kind of look.
Cool.
And she's just kind of like looking at her claws, which she's retracting and extending and retracting and extending. And as she hears Trelamar, she kind of looks over in this big wolfish grin, kind of like, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't think that you would come back this way. What do you think, boys?" And she kind of like stands up, and you can see she rises probably about 7 feet tall, powerful, muscular-looking arms and legs. And what do you think?
What do you think, Trell? Do you think she can handle us?
Well,
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, somebody's feeling particularly brave, I see.
I'm feeling quite animalistic.
You know, I've always thought of you two as my little prey. And now it's even more the case.
Well, we just went on a hunt, so maybe you could do some hunting of your own.
Well, I could indeed. My father has promised that if you agree not to disrupt his plans, I can keep you alive as my little pets.
We'd like that very much. We know that any attempts to overthrow you and your dad, or is it your dad?
Yes.
Yeah. They're futile. And we're dead anyway.
Both of you give me deception checks, or performance checks, whichever you prefer.
Okay.
I'm hiding.
You're pretty good at deception though, right?
Well,
17.
Okay.
8.
What are you saying, Trelamar, at this point? What are you kind of like, how are you playing this?
I am just agreeing with Mr.
You're like,
Buckland.
oh yeah.
He can be pretty honest though, because he always wants to have sex.
I don't think
I've got
even
a
Cam
saying.
Buckland. Really? Like, I don't think Cam
Wolves don't do it for
This
me.
is kind of a bit out of Cam Buckland's
Haven't got to that level
comfort
yet.
zone. Yeah. As you're kind of saying that, are you stepping towards her, or are you staying where you guys are?
Staying where I am. I'm terrified.
Okay. So she starts she makes her way down, but you can see her kind of moving towards these columns, kind of trying to be quite sultry. Like she kind of puts her hand around it, claws
Playing
like
hard to get.
this claw is like around the ice as she like loops around it. She kind of like pokes her head out from around the corner, and she's just like, "Oh, hunting. We never did get to go hunting, did we, Cam?
No.
You step a bit more into the room. This will be less fun if you make your way out into the corridor."
Oh, it's quite warm in here. I quite like the draft from the door, if you don't mind. Don't want things to get too hot too quickly.
She's just like, "Oh, that reminds me. You are aware that the Frostwalker family has some partial control over this spire, aren't you?" The door slams shut behind you.
Oh, of course.
And then at this point, all the lights in this room, like the kind of effervescent magic glow within the spire, just goes completely dark. You've still got your mask on, so you're fine. Like, it just goes black and white, and you can see Sylval attempts to try and hide. You, pitch black.
I shit myself.
You need to give me a perception with disadvantage. You need to give me a regular perception check.
That's just going to make you easier to track for her if you shit yourself.
Oh!
Even with
14.
the mask, I'm
Even
afraid.
with the mask, that was a whopping 6.
So, the two of you hear this boom, slam shut, the lights all go off, and you lose track of her. She vanishes, just like...
Well, I've never done it in the dark. Can we have sunlight?
That would make things too easy, Cam.
Help!
Okay, at that point, let's roll initiative.
I'm leaving him.
Okay, that's fine. You can roll. You can leave him if you want.
Oh,
Don't
cool.
know. I'm going back to Cora.
Cam Buckland,
7.
Elora,
6.
Trelamar,
11.
Juto,
9.
and Little Eastery. Fucking Little Eastery's going at 9 as well. So,
Yes, high rolls.
so you're like in this darkness. The room is completely pitch black. You can barely see some shapes, like light escaping from underneath through this icy door crack, but it's very, very dark. Long shadows kind of spreading throughout the room entirely. You hear very gentle padding, but you can't really tell where it's coming from, like soft animal feet padding around ground, but it almost seems to be all around you. Yeah, I think she'd be quite overconfident at this point. So, you're kind of in the darkness, and then Cam... Right, would an 18 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay, you feel, not a blade or anything at this point, but you feel this giant furried clawed hand basically cup your manhood. The claws digging in almost, like threatening to puncture, testicle sacs. And you feel like a tongue lick your neck. And then, with a bonus action, as a move action, she disengages and attempts to hide again. Give me perception checks, disadvantage for you, Sam.
Jesus Christ, that's horrible.
And you just hear this
dying. I'm dying.
this laughter cackling around.
13.
7.
17, 13. Again, like you catch a glimpse of this woven form wrapped around Cam, and then she's gone. And you just hear this like.
I don't like your kind of foreplay.
Oh, this is just me getting warmed up, Cam. Trelemar, what would you like to do? You have no idea where she. You've got a vague idea, but you can only guess where she might be. You think she's probably like tucked around here somewhere.
I am. Oh, I'm gonna play along.
Okay.
I'm gonna go round that way.
Okay, so you're kind of like Marco Poloing this.
Yeah.
Okay. Marco. So you kind of step your way around. What are you doing? Are you just walking around calmly? Are you trying to feel for her? What are you trying to do?
Feel for her.
I'm just walking around
Okay.
calmly.
Okay.
Or trying to be calm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So give me a deception check, just like kind of keep up the act that you're playing along.
I think
I'm
I've
gonna
got.
buy
14.
New
Okay.
dice.
I got a bewitched, haven't I?
Huh?
Shouting help and.
Yeah. Well, she knows that you're terrified, but she's
that's
playing
fine.
around with you. You basically start walking around like looking for her and stuff like that, and she's just like, "Oh, you're handling this a lot better than the human. I knew that you would. She says, "I knew you'd be the right choice all along, Mr. Dark Elf."
Well, what can I say? More experience than the young human over here.
Too true. Too true. Shall I get rid of him for us? Give us some alone time.
You know what? I'll
Okay,
do that
here it is.
myself.
You're not going anywhere, Cam. Okay, so you kind of make your way round.
You deserve this.
yeah, I do.
Give me another perception check with advantage, but this time I'll give you a certain bonus.
Ooh, that's 19.
Okay.
So 19. 23.
Okay. You're looking around, and you actually think she doesn't realize that you can see in the dark. Like, you're kind of playing it off that you're kind of being surprised. She doesn't know that the power of the mask has. So whilst she's hiding, she's actually kind of just standing in the open, relying more on the darkness and her natural agility to get out of the way. And she's actually just kind of leaning up against like this wall a little bit further away from you. And you can see her really clearly.
Oh.
What would you like to do? So you've used your move, I'd say.
I know the next 2 words. It's gonna come out of your mouth.
Don't know that for sure.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to use suggestion.
Okay,
Like
so
we planned.
you cast suggestion on her. What do you suggest?
I suggest we take this elsewhere.
And what is the DC for your saving throws?
14.
Okay. You watch as like her bright blue eyes, although in your eyes they kind of appear as like a silver with the black and white vision of the mask. And there's a moment where they glaze over and you see the magic take hold. And then she's like, oh, yes, you're right, we should take this elsewhere. We shouldn't be doing this sort of thing in the throne room, should we?
Of course not.
All right, very well, follow me. And she begins making her way to the door. The lights come back on, and you see the door just open behind you, and you can see Sylval walks up next to Trelemar. Just the two of them begin making their way
I
towards
walk
the door.
behind them.
Yeah. That's.
And then
Let's take this outside. Take this elsewhere. Yeah.
I'm keeping a distance. However,
Okay.
I'm trying to clock the other guys. I'm like
Yeah.
beckoning them in once they go past.
Okay. She's just like, you really shouldn't be going in there, but I've got business elsewhere, so. And she just seems to be walking with Cam and Trelemar.
Yeah. Go.
Cool. I'm gonna go to the throne
go
room.
in.
Okay, so you guys make your way in. Nalistri kind of looks over her. She's just like, and when she passes Nalistri and Alora, she's just like, are you going to see Father? Good. I'm looking forward to having Alora as part of the family. And maybe you can finally be one of us as well, Nalistri. And she just carries on walking past.
Charles, do you need a safe word?
Yes. The safe word is pickles.
Good.
What are you talking about? What's a safe word?
You know,
well,
you know
you
how
know.
feisty you can get.
Yeah.
That's true. And she just like licks her like wolfen claws.
I have PTSD for her licking my neck.
Okay. What are you two doing with this? Like, where is this going?
I'm slowly like breaking off.
Oh, you're going to break off. Okay, yeah, because the magic seems to be that it's something with Trell is
but I'm
being
just
taken
trying to make
elsewhere.
sure Trell can also get away.
Okay,
or-
but yeah, well, Trellmar, she
Subtly.
is basically she turns to you and suggests like, why don't we take this up to my room? That would be more convenient, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Charlotte. Bye. Wait.
So the three of you remain within the least three, the 1, 2, and 3. You go with her, and she will, unless you do anything else, she will take you up to her room, and then things will happen. But I need to know what you're doing.
Cam.
Yes.
Remember, do you like cheese and pickle sandwiches?
Love them.
Yeah?
Very safe choice.
At this point, they're getting to the edge of the corridor where the portal that leads to the upper levels, to the bedroom, they're getting closer, and you can see her beginning to conjure the portal to activate it.
You remember that door?
Yes. Oh, I just remembered.
Yes.
I left the iron on. So I think me and Cam will have to. We'll rearrange this for another time.
Give me a deception
I'm
check
running now.
with disadvantage.
Can we be the whole time making our way inside the throne room, by the way?
Yeah.
I have assumed that you guys have all moved in there.
Yeah.
So what I need, you...
Deception, did you say?
Deception.
17.
Okay, you and the Listri are going to make perception checks to try and... or investigation checks, sorry, to find this secret door.
Not perception.
You can use perception as well, actually.
I guess I'm not really there to do that yet, right?
Not yet, no. You're still
9.
helping him.
15.
15. But you and the Listri actually managed to find it. Tucked behind the throne rooms, there are these kind of like small alcoves. They seem to just hold crystals, these kind of magical lights that kind of give the ice spire its kind of glow. And allows people to see. As you move towards it, like, Nalistri's kind of talking absent-mindedly, like, I've never really been able to come in here. Solandris didn't really like it when I did. And then as he's talking to you, he's like, you and him are both kind of like pushing your hands around, trying to find some sort of switch or something. And you notice that there is a small glowing sigil, just very, very delicately carved onto the bracket that holds this light, just underneath it. And when you point it out to Nalistri, he kind of touches it, and a section of the wall, the ice begins to melt away and reveals a spiral ice staircase leading up. And he's like, oh, I guess we found it then.
Cool.
Yes, all right. You two, she like looks at you and she's like, you're not thinking of going elsewhere. You're not thinking of leaving me now, are you?
Oh, what?
No. And she grabs
Open
your
the
arm.
door.
She grabs your arm. Give me a acrobatics check if you want to try and resist.
Oh God!
Big furry clawed hand wraps around it and she pulls you towards this portal, basically. Now this is
torn.
quite inappropriate.
I'm gonna command.
Okay.
So level 1, so
What's the
wisdom
command?
saving.
What'd you say?
Halt.
Well, that's crooked. 2. Stops dead in her tracks.
Trell, let's go. You got a minute. Literally, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you free yourself. You're like, you pull yourself. You run through the door. These two come running in.
I shout out. You could have at least shaved first.
And you just hear like it's kind of like what as you guys begin running your way through.
Where did the other guys go? Do we see?
Nalistri's like poking his head out. He's like,
Body
over here,
shaming.
secret door over here.
Yeah, she's going to come after us in any moment. Let's
What? No, she'll come up behind us and attack us from behind.
Can you
Well.
block it off in any way?
She can activate it. She's a member of the family as well.
go. You made a wall before, right?
I can't do that again.
Why not?
That's not how magic works, Cam.
Let's just go with the flow. Let's get in.
Oh, all right. And then you kind of get into this spiral staircase. Nalistri touches a similar sigil and the ice begins to reform.
What if we destroyed the staircase?
Destroy the sigil.
Destroy the sigil.
That might work, but she might be able to reform it over time. But it might slow her down.
Destroy
And by
it.
then, hopefully, the frost giant might catch up.
All right, fine. So you guys begin making your way up, and this spiral staircase goes up for a long time. It takes quite an agonizing, you're probably traversing it for, a few minutes. As you get sufficiently high enough, about midway, Nalistri is like, okay, the ice should hold if we destroy it from this point. We'll need something of sufficient power, an explosion or something like that.
Trellamar. Now
Yeah.
it's your time.
Eldritch blasts?
Yeah.
I'd say, because
Twinned.
you're shooting at a staircase, you don't even need to roll, it just takes you time. You're basically like constant beams severing the ice, basically. Just like bam, 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 bam. And it eventually separates and you crush a big enough gap that it would be very difficult to try and make it up to. She'll have to either reform it or try and climb her way along the sheer wall, which will be quite difficult even with claws.
But we are trapped now.
You are, however, now trapped and you cannot make your way down easily.
But we won't get flanked by a big, horny wolf. It's a good break point, Mark.
Okay, well, I was going to say, I've got a perfect break point in a minute.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
you guys continue making your way up the stairs.
I thought you were checking the time.
I was checking the time,
Oh, wow.
but I knew I wanted to do this little bit first. You guys make your way up towards the roof, and eventually the spiral staircase leads up onto a large, flat, open space. The top of the Winter Spire has the look of a tip of an icicle from the outside, but this appears to be an illusion. As you emerge from the spiral staircase, you can see the top of the spire is a large open platform with a thin, icy railing around it. The view is spectacular. The frozen mountains lurk in the distance, and all around you can see beautiful, snow-covered hilllands, pine forests, and undisturbed regions. At the center of the roof is a raised platform with a pedestal of ice. Atop the pedestal itself is a jagged and twisted crown of blackness. It hums with power, and you can feel this rapid pulsing of magic emerge from it, flowing through you, almost passing through you like a warm energy. Above the black crown floats what appears to be a bow with no string, made of a beautiful silver, almost like a radiant moonlight captured in a physical form. It glitters with a faint glow of unseen magic. Beside the pedestal stand 2 figures, almost exactly as when you first saw them. Lord Solandris Frostwalker, his black hair with thin grey lines, dressed in regal blue and white clothing, a large silvery longsword humming with frost and icy power at his side. Beside him, his beautiful wife Malisendel. You can see that she's dressed in her similar robe fashions, her tight silver and black hair wound up in a high bun with icicles almost holding it in place. She weaves her hands across the bow and the crown, her eyes focused and sweat pouring down her brow. And as you kind of emerge up onto the top of this roof, Lord Solandris, who was previously looking out on the horizon, just turns, a very solemn, a very sad kind of expression on his face, and when he sees Alora, there's a genuine smile. Perhaps we need not gamble everything, my love. The last remnants of our new family may still join us. And we're going to take a break right there before we potentially wrap up this whole thing. So we're going to take a break there, guys. I don't think we have a fan art video this week. No fan art.
It's every other week.
Every other week, that's it. So we'll be back in like 10 minutes, shall we say? 10-minute break. And we'll be back then to finish off this stuff.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. just trolled everyone. Oh. You might. Hands on 2.
2.
Turning a mic on.
I don't want people to hear me pee.
Well, it's already happened once.
It was all muted anyway.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All pee sounds the same.
I don't care.
All pee sounds the same.
I'm very aware that something could happen, and it would somehow end up that people hear what I do in the toilet.
Well,
Everyone pees in the toilet.
And I'm not.
let's
distraught.
move on
Anyway.
from this. Welcome back. Thank you for rejoining us after that break for pretty much the climactic conclusion to the Winter Spire arc, I believe. Or is it? Who knows? As mentioned, you guys, so before the break, you guys had made your way through the Winter Spire. You'd found out some uncomfortable truths. Elora's parents had been transformed by this strange curse, whatever it is, that turned them into werewolves. You managed to cure Elora's mother, Eletha, using the antidote given to you by the Dryad in the Den of Fenris. However, Althadon had to basically flee. He managed to kind of regain part of his self, part of his personality, and rather than risking him hurting Elora and her friends, he decided to escape, and he fled out of a window. You tied up Queen Shalana, and you have now imprisoned her in the Winter Spire itself. And you also have managed to elude Silval, the daughter of Lord Solandris and Malasandel, temporarily at least, with some cunning spell play by Chelamar and Cam Buckland, and the destruction of a spiral staircase leading up to the roof of the spire. The roof of the spire, as you reach here, you basically see Lord Solandris and Malasandel in their human forms, or in their elven forms, I should say, on a... oh man, my throat. On a large kind of raised platform with a pedestal with this crown of black ice and what appears to be a silvery bow with no string hovering above it. And you can see Malasendel is obviously concentrating on some very powerful magics. Solandris, the last thing before we took the break was he had turned around from looking out on the horizon, had seen you, and basically said the line of, maybe Knowles, maybe we don't have to gamble everything. The last members of our family might still decide to join us. You can feel this pulsating magic coming from the crown. Cam, Elora, in fact, all of you, because you all have some understanding of magic, whether it's through your internal kind of like key and your magic of yourself, whether it's through the gods or through nature, this thing radiates power. You've never sensed an item, crown rend, the mask, none of them compare to this crown. This thing, the magic is almost coming off it like flames, like heat. You can feel the raw energy from it. But it seems unstable. You guys can give me Arcana checks quickly, all of you.
My forte.
18.
14.
23.
9.
So, Juto and Elora. Juto first. You don't have a great understanding of magic. Rather, you have a sense of energy in the world. This crown was very powerful, but it's been fed more energy. And that energy is currently unstable. It looks like whatever Malasendel is trying to do, it's not certain whether she has enough power to do it or not, whatever she's trying to accomplish. Elora, there's something intrinsic about this. First of all, you can sense that this bow, the silvery bow, it has the same magic as your home. Your home spire has magic to it. Same with all the elven spires. They all have fey magic. This bow is very concentrated your spire's magic. But within that crown, you sense the same magic from the frost spire that you've encountered as you've been around here. The magic that allows an Elistri to move the walls and Silval to shut the doors. But also the same magic you felt in the autumn spire that Queen Shalana once had. This crown has the same forms of magic within it, but it's not enough. Whatever she's trying to do, whatever Malasendel is trying to make this crown do, they don't have enough power as it is. And that means it could all go wrong. And at this point, Solandris kind of looks at you, and he kind of lets out a long, deep breath, almost as if releasing a heavy weight from his shoulders. He doesn't look past the group, and Elistri is very much at the back, and you can see that he's having a hard time kind of dealing with this scenario, like kind of confronting his father. But Salandris kind of looks at you and he kind of lets out a long look and he's just like, no doubt you have many questions or something you wish to say.
A few.
I am sure you are quite angry and you do not understand what I've tried to do here.
What is there to understand other than the fact that you turned my parents into monsters?
He like looks at you and he's like, no, I have not turned them into monsters. I have tried to unite us. One bloodline, one people. Look at this world, Elora. Look at... This world has suffered so many tragedies, not just my own. Shalana's spire was attacked the instant they arrived from the Feywild. These humans are warring. There's some bickering with powers beyond their control. This place is not safe for our people. We can only be united as one, and this crown will give us the power to create our own home, our own nation within the Feywild, untouched by anyone else. But we can only do that if we are strong. And if that means that we must embrace a new bloodline, new power, then I am willing to make that sacrifice. And I know that
I'm not.
You are a child. You do not understand.
At least I understand that you could talk to people. You could talk to the races of this world.
They do not care for us. What are we to do? Make treaties? We were here long before them. I have seen this world before this Palor's light was even a beacon in the sky. They do not know what we have suffered. Our people are dying. We are dwindling. The humans are like animals. They populate. The only one that can even remotely understand us is your dark elven friend, but his people are beneath the earth. They are doing their own dark deeds, but at least they are safe for the time being. We must be united as one, and at least we can have that. Join us, please. Don't be separated from your mother and father. Join us and we can be together as one people. I know that this is something you've sought yourself.
I won't separate from the other races of this world. I refuse to believe that you can't talk this through with people. You say they don't know what we've been through. Tell them. Educate them.
It is
You
too
can't
late.
turn people into monsters. You can't... You're changing the elven race. That's not the solution
I'm
to anything.
strengthening, and he kind of slams his hand down. I'm strengthening our people. We are dying. We are weak. Archfays try and corrupt us, and do not think that I am not aware of what Fenris has tricked me into. But I will not give her the satisfaction of making her wishes come true. I will take the curse she has given me and make it the elven people's glory. Malasendel, please speak to her as a mother can. And the woman, her eyes kind of flutter open.
You're not my mother, so don't even try.
I know, child, but do you not think that we have not thought about many of this? That we have not considered reaching out to this Talos Val as Shalana has? She is still debating with this council treaties and agreements and land ownership. Her people lived in that forest before humans were even on this planet. And yet they tell us that we don't have a right because they wish to build lumber camps. They are so driven by their industry and their way of life that they are refusing to acknowledge what was before them. It is not their fault. They are young. I do not blame even your friends that you have brought with us here. We hold them in no harm. Join us and we will let them go, return to their place. They may live their life as they wish. We just want to create our own place where our people can be safe. It's not only people like our son, like Dathomir, that have been lost. Many elves have lost their lives. Do you not think that your own mother and father are terrified for you, knowing that you're out in this world, that any minute you can be snatched from them by some creature or some villain in a street?
Well, what you've done to them, today they tried to kill me themselves.
Salandris kind of like lowers his head. I am very sorry for that.
No, you're not.
I am. Malasendel and I have learned to control the form, as has Silval, but it takes time. I'd hoped that your father and mother and Shalana would have been secured for enough time that we could have spoken with them, taught them to control it. But it is difficult. I am sorry. I truly am. Your father is... He is my oldest friend. And I know that part of him believes in what I've done here. Even if you do not. Please.
He wouldn't believe that. He wouldn't believe that at all. That's a lie. You betrayed him.
There is no getting through to youth. I will offer this one last chance. Please, join us. With your help, we can complete the crown. We can have enough power to take all of the elven spires and form them in one place, a protected land within the Feywild. And with this new form, this power within us, we can protect it from anyone, anything. Please.
You just said yourself it was a curse.
It need not be a curse forever. Just enough to get us through, to make us strong again.
I won't let the elven people be cursed by you.
He kind of looks up, and then his eyes kind of glance over, and you can see Nalistri is beginning to push his way past Trelemar and Cam, and he moves up towards you, and Nalistri kind of like looks at you. He just goes, "I'm sorry, Alora," and he takes a few steps forward, and Salandris like looks down at him, and he makes his way up onto the platform. Nalistri, he looks at him and he goes. So Nalistri looks up at Salandris. "Uncle, here's our. So you know the truth now." Nalistri nods. "I'm sorry, I must have kept it from you, and I've treated you so poorly. Your mother betrayed me, and it hurt me deeply. I only wish to see us as a family. Are you ready to become one of us now, Nalistri? Are you ready to be a member of this family?" And Nalistri kind of looks at him, and Salandris holds out a hand, and Nalistri looks at him and he goes like, "I am, Father, but not yours." And he grabs his hand, and the runes that he put on his glove explode into fire.
Oh, shit.
You hear Nalistri cry out in terrible pain. 14, 15, 17, 19. Not great, Nalistri. Good attempt, though. His hand erupts into flame, and you can see part of Nalistri's arm is basically incinerated and charred as this explosion wraps around Salandris as he stumbles back. In his haste, Nalistri tries to desperately knock the crown from the pedestal. Get a proper roll on this. He kind of like hits it, and it kind of wobbles, and the bow, whatever the spell that was keeping them connected, the bow clatters onto the ground, and then Nalistri basically just slumps onto the ground by its side. He basically like crumbles like to the ground, like kind of holding this burnt stump of an arm that he now has. And Melisenda like kind of is like, "No!" And then the crown seems to pulse with magic, and it just kind of like seems to snap, crack, and hit the pedestal and become inert, and magic begins to stop pulsing. Salandris is just, you can see his form beginning to shift, the wolfen-like features kind of overcoming him, and he just turns around and he's like, "Very well. If you will not join us voluntarily, I will give you this curse, and you will truly be a member of our family." They warp into wolf form, and that is where we're going to kick things off.
With pre-rolled initiative.
With pre-rolled initiative, which we did earlier. You watch as Melisendel does the same thing. Her form reverts into a wolf. She weaves a spell and flies up in the air, basically.
Flying wolf.
She flies up in the air, and you can see her long, billowing blue robes flowing around her as a wolven form begins conjuring magics. That is the end of her go. Trelemar Alith.
Hey. Come on, let's blast Daddy Wolf.
Me too.
You just Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, come on.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Okay.
So the crown is like...
natural 20
It's on the top of the pedestal, and it's kind of inert, like you can see it's cracked, but there's no more magic kind of pulsing out from it. Natural 20, did you say?
Yeah.
Man.
Natural 20 and
So-
a 16.
Well, did you double the damage? Oh, so the natural 20 hits automatically.
Yep.
The 16, however, does... Oh no, it just misses. It seems that as he's shifted into the wolf-like form, he becomes more agile, and he just barely, you can see it singeing like hairs around his neck as the second beam misses. But the first beam catches him right in the chest. So you roll this, and then double the dice. Not as... If that had been a 10, that would have been really cool.
Let's just
So
brush
that's
over
a 7.
So 7 total.
Did you double that?
And then double.
You
No,
double the 3.
Double the 3.
So that's 6.
Then add.
And then add.
Okay, so that's. Wait, what's that?
What's your modifier?
Six
Plus
your
4?
Plus 4.
10.
So 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Okay. Alright, I'm going to need some extra paper for this. So.
What about the bow? The bow fell, didn't it?
4, it just landed sort of onto the pedestal right near Nalistry's currently unconscious body. So I'm just going to. So 13 malice. Okay. So the blast catches Salandris square in the chest, and he kind of staggers back. Ah! That will not be enough, Dark Elf. I was going to let you and the others live, but now I will not tolerate an attack against this elven nation. Whooshing! And the sword just comes out to the side. What else would you like to do, Trellamon? Would you like to move? Bonus actions? Anything else?
No.
You're currently kind of like stood around this stairwell leading down.
Can I sort of move around this way?
Yeah, you move where you're in. So each square is 5 foot of movement, so you've got 30 feet.
I'm just going to move over here.
Just a little bit to the side.
Yeah.
So you kind of like move yourself over. You can see this kind of icy railing behind you and the long drop from the tower roaming behind you.
Don't even.
Listri is still conscious, but with one hand he's kind of like struggling. He kind of looms up and he, with a mage hand, the magical bow, he like tosses it towards Elora, basically like skids along the floor, like as it just rolls to the side. Cam Buckland.
Really? Okay. I'm going to go up to Nalistry
I'm here.
and bend down, healing word,
Okay.
but grabbing his face.
Okay. Like, brrr.
I thought you were going to betray us.
He's just like, no, wasn't going to.
Then fight for us.
Oh yeah, he was on
5 plus wisdom. 9.
9 points. Okay. Yeah, the kind of burnt, crispy arm stump thing that he had that were around his glove, it stops like, it's still blown off, but you can see he gets some energy back into him and he's like, all right, let's do this.
I'm just kind of helping him up. And
Okay.
Stuff.
Would you like to move? You did a little bit of movement. You've got a bit more if you'd like to.
Can I use a bit of my movement to get him up on his feet?
Ooh, yeah, if you're not going to do a bonus action as well, I'd say you can kind of pull him up. Or do you want to do a bonus action? You wanted to do a bonus action, didn't you? I'd say yeah. You can't. If you want to do a bonus action, you're not going to be able
I'll
to pull him
just
up.
protect him
He's fine. Like
physically.
he's just yeah. You can do what you need to do. So
I'll be with him at least. So I've run out of everything actually. So
you got no spell slots left.
nope,
Cool. So
Not at all.
Oh boy.
not really.
not really. So you don't have a bonus action you want to do?
No, in which case
You just
I'll
help him
just help him up.
Okay.
Okay. That was Cam Buckland's go. Juto, what's your dexterity?
18.
Ooh, tied. Do you want to roll a d20 for me? I've got to see. Well, no,
I have a
it's just to
couple.
see who's going between you and Salandris.
16.
Can you roll again? We've both got exactly the same.
11.
Okay. So in this case, Salandris is ever so slightly quicker than you. Salandris kind of seeing this, you've just blasted him. You can see Nalistri getting up and things like that. And in a rage, he is thinking about what to do.
He just goes and kills himself.
No, absolutely not.
That'll be nice.
He will leap over here, seeing Cam up. He does know that you're a cleric, so he's going to try and take you down a little bit first. He swipes at you with his longsword, which you can see is now coated in like thick frost and rime, and he'll swing that at you. Natural 1 on the first one. So as you're going to go to that, you just whoop underneath it, like kind of almost like dodge roll with Nalistri. But the second attack on his backswing is 18 to hit. Okay. So I need a d6 for this as well. Right, so you take 11 slashing damage and 6 cold damage. I don't know if you have, I think only Trell's got resistance to cold. So this kind of slash cuts you across the arm and a thick layer of frost sends a deep chill down your spine. And he kind of just slashes this and he's like, I will end you. Elora will join us.
I thought you went to Spire were intelligent, but you're dumb.
Juto.
I have more to say, but 6 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm tangled up in my radio mic wire.
Come on.
I know what you want me to do. I don't know what to do. What should I do?
What would Juto do?
What
Is
would
the big
Juto
question.
do? So I've just seen him attack Cam and threaten Alora. I'm going to activate Crown Rend and go for him.
Okay, so, because normally, Crown Rend you can only use once per day, and it normally exhausts you quite badly to do. But as you kind of like close your eyes for a moment, you just hear like, you made a promise. I will ensure you can fulfill it. Do not disappoint me, little demon. And you feel the life. So it's almost as if you transformed it normally, so reduce your HPs and things like that.
For some reason, I have this written here, but I think that's from the live stream, the Christmas live stream.
Yeah, that was a different thing.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. You know that yet.
Okay.
So yeah, so reduce your HPs by level, which is 8. And then you have transformed Crown Rend.
Yeah, I'll have at him.
Okay, so you launch into an attack. Wham. 17 to hit just. He kind of goes to parry it. As he does, he kind of brings his sword up in a certain like stance. Whilst you do hit him, he manages to kind of reduce some of the damage, like by almost intersposing his blade between you. It's a thing you can do. So this is a D8 plus Dex modifier.
11.
Okay, 11 points of damage.
Yeah, and then I can
Okay,
do
he
fire
reduces
damage
that.
as well.
Oh, okay, yep, and the fire damage.
6 points of fire damage.
Okay, so most of the weapon attack, like the kind of bladed part of Crown Rend, he kind of traps in between like the fingers of his blade, so you just barely scratch his skin with the weapon. However, the flame from the thing definitely kind of catches his shirt on fire, and you can see him recoil from it, like ah, as he kind of like turns the blade away.
I have 2 attacks.
Yep, make the second attack.
Do I roll again?
Yeah.
I'm going mad. I haven't done this for a while.
That's all right.
3, 8,
No.
no.
Just total
8, 9, 10, 11.
11, no, it's not enough. This time you go to swipe it, but he seems to almost now kind of used to your weapon. He just parries the blade to the side. Anything else you want to do? Bonus actions?
I don't think there's a lot I can do with Crown Rend as a bonus.
Not with Crown Rend, but you've got all your other monk abilities and stuff. Like if you wanted to like move or like do any of like your dodge and stuff that you can do. You've got unarmed strikes as well. Don't forget. You can use flurry.
Maybe. I'd quite like to do patient Is it patient defense?
Yeah, I think so.
That's,
it has disadvantage on attack rolls. You get
or I can dodge.
Yeah.
The one where I can dodge.
Yep, so it's a key point to do. But yeah,
So
you can do that.
78.
It's bonus
So I'll
action.
do whichever one. I can't remember if it's patient defense or stuff the wind, but I will take off one.
I know which one you mean. Yeah. So one
and
key
I will
point for
look
that.
it up in the interest of just getting this
Okay.
keep going.
Sweet. So that's what Juto is doing. Elora.
I'm gonna pick up the bow.
Okay. So you pick up the bow, and there is an immediate sense of familiarity. This kind of silvery bow, short bow, kind of curved, recurved edges, glimmers with starlight and moonlight and that silvery radiance, very much like your moonbeam. You've never seen this before, even though it feels like something from your home. You've never seen it before, and you've never heard your parents speak of it. As you touch it, normally you would have to attune, but it seems that with you, it attunes immediately. There you go. You can have that.
Yay! Dodge.
And you know this, as you kind of touch it, you feel there is almost a divine presence in it. There's a feeling of Sihani Moonbow, the elven goddess, and you know that this is a moonbow. This is a weapon of her champions, basically.
It's Brown Bend.
Huh?
Brown Bend in the Little Elf. No? Right in there.
What's your problem? What's your problem?
On,
Look, when you're a DM, you can have intelligent magic items that have creepy voices, all right?
So it says it doesn't require ammunition.
So, as you kind of hold it, you're like, I need arrows, and then the bowstring in silvery energy light.
Oh shit.
And as you pull it back, a arrow of silver, it's almost like a pure bolt of silver light just forms in your hand like an arrow.
That's really cool. But I have arrows that have the wolf's thing
You can
on
try
them.
and fire them.
Can I try and fire that with this bow?
Yep, absolutely. And it seems that the arrowhead gains the properties of like silvery radiant energy.
Cool. I'll use that, and I'm gonna shoot
the way it works.
Salandris.
Okay.
Laser bow.
So I still get. Do I
badass.
get a +2 on top of my short bow usually?
Yes. So that is the magical weapon bonus, and you add that to damage rolls as well.
Oh.
It's a +2 weapon.
Okay.
Someone.
I rolled a natural 1. I'm
Being
going to
unf-
use luck.
Oh yes, because you do have the luck feat now.
Oh, that's better.
Nice.
Someone in chat said it's high moon.
24.
It's high moon.
Can I do that every time I use it? Can I say it's high moon?
No. You pull back on the bow, and there's a moment where you go to fire it, but you're kind of uncertain with the weapon, but you catch yourself, pull back, and redraw, and let go.
Can't do a natural 1 on my first shot.
What was the total
It
roll?
was like 24. I think.
That is easily hit on Solandris, yes?
So I'm my normal damage plus the extra, right?
Plus
Or-
2 extra, yep, and then plus 1d6 extra for the radiant. So it should be 2d6 plus your dex mod plus 2.
And then, 8, 9, 10, 12.
12. Okay, I now need to make...
And it's got the thingy on it.
It does. As it beds in, you see Solandris work, and he definitely, like, the silvery light kind of explodes, and you see him grunt from pain. But the poison, the way that it affected Fenris, like, she kind of made her cough up this black blood that kind of spewed out. The blood kind of sticks in, he pulls the arrow out, and you can just see this red blood tinted with black, but he's just... Do not think that whatever weapon you used against Fenris will work against me. I have made this curse my own. This is no longer Fenris's blood, but mine. And it does not seem to affect him. But
Fucker.
you do damage.
He seems nice.
Which shudders that. And is that the end of your go, Alora? Bonus actions, I think?
Just glare at him.
Would you like to move?
Flip him off.
No.
Okay, cool. At the top of the round, Malasendel flies up and is basically hovering up in the air at this point. She'll actually hover slightly here. She looks down at Trelemar. Tell me, little dark elf, can you fly?
Uh-oh.
Whoosh! And with telekinetic force, attempts to blow you off the side of the spire. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Nice high roll.
Uh-oh. Oh, fuck.
Come on, please.
Mother.
It's pretty good.
Oh, shit.
18.
18. You fly back and you feel this catch of blast of force, and you go to tumble over the railing, but you manage to wrap arms around it. Granomir kind of like trying to pull you up himself as well, as you're kind of holding on to the edge of the spire, and you can feel that she's trying to wrap telekinetic energy around you, and she's like focusing hard, desperate to try and keep you in her grip. Yeah, she won't do that just yet. But yeah, so you're kind of like fighting this battle of wills against her at the time being. It is your go, however. You can act normally, but you're basically pushed up right against the edge here. She's flying about 90 feet up in the air.
Can I cast Blight on the bitch?
Sure can, buddy. What's the saving throw on this?
Hold on.
Such an angry man.
Let me see.
So it should be in your it's a
No,
con saving
the-
throw. It's in your
it's,
DC.
Okay,
sorry, your
14.
DC.
It's 14, yeah.
It's 14.
Is that definitely right?
7.
Hey!
So I believe this is
Oh, fuck. This is
8d8 or something
is
like that, isn't it?
Something ridiculous. Hold on.
Would you like 2 of my D8? Here we go.
I've got a bunch as well.
Blend the
It
D8.
is
There we go.
8d8, yeah.
Okay, I've got some in here as well.
1, 2, 3,
Everyone
4,
give your
5,
D8s to Trelemar.
6.
2 more.
We should have 2 more.
8.
There we
You got
go.
'em?
It's a team effort.
Here we go. Right.
Here we go.
Clear the board.
It's morphin time.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Oh, 2 8s.
That's good.
1 from.
So,
It's pretty good.
Hang on.
so the easiest way to do that is 16, 20, 30, 38, 39 points
Oh.
of damage.
Ding dong.
Fucking hell.
GG.
Now I've got a semi.
Reach up. Do you say anything, like, or are you just like she's trying to push you off this railing, which you're desperately trying to hold on to? You manage to raise
I
up
say
one
blow
hand,
this, bitch.
and you just watch as like all the life force itself is blown out of her, and she's just like her form like shrinks and withers. Ah! As she kind of cries out in pain, her form kind of wavers in the air. Solandris looks over his shoulder and he's like, "Malasendo, I'll kill you!" as he just roars,
pissed
as
him off.
he's just like, as he watches his wife literally being sucked dry from this spell.
By
Trelemar.
So you pissed off the daughter, pissed off the wife.
Well, that's the point.
Should we just leave
Pissed off
Trell
the
and
father.
go?
You know,
Okay.
don't bring Trell to family gatherings, you know?
No, absolutely not. Nalistre's go.
Take them anyway, can we?
Nalistri is going to try and disengage from his father.
Not father.
Not father, sorry, his
Uncle.
uncle. He disengages, which unfortunately is his full round, but he kind of like limps away trying to defend himself, and then he sets his eyes on Malicendel flying up above. But that is unfortunately his full turn. Cam Buckland.
You guys are dumb. You've got the curse in you. How stupid is that? And I'm gonna just nimbus the bitch.
Which one? Salandris.
Right in front of me.
Stab.
No. Gonna cloak of shadows.
Oh, it's this invisibility, isn't
Yeah.
it? Once per day. So you channel divinity,
Just do this and then go invisible.
and you disappear for 1 round,
Yeah.
which gives you advantage on any attack rolls. Or do you want to move?
I'm just gonna go on to this.
So you like literally stand on top of the pedestal.
Yeah, ready to jump onto his back.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good. It's a real high stat. 2.
Oh,
Okay.
3.
Give me. No, because you wouldn't be able to avoid it. So you climb up on top of this pedestal. And as you do, your foot touches this crown of black ice. And as it does, you just watch as Malicendel looks down, seeing you about, and she's like, no! And as your foot touches it, it erupts with energy, exploding outwards, catching you, Salandris, Malicendel, and Juto. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws. That's against attack rolls, not saving throws. But you have evasion, which means if you succeed, you take nothing, and even if you fail, you take half. Sorry, you're at disadvantage.
Content.
What's it to make a
Dexterity saving throw, please.
Go and die.
It's, you should have it on the front of your sheet.
17, 18,
So he's going to fail.
22.
Okay,
8.
8. What did you get? 22. So you don't take anything. With your evasion, because you're a monk, you basically manage to drop down and sort of like take cover as the force erupts through. Salandris takes a full blow in the black,
Nice.
but Malicendel manages to, very similar to you, kind of dart out of the way and fly out of the spell itself. Right, I need d6s. Quite a few of them.
Oh, Cam.
It's always you.
I thought I was being really
wrong with
sneaky.
you?
Oh.
Do I have to save you again?
7, 8.
Yeah, you do.
Anybody got 2d6?
No, you're not allowed.
Here, have them.
Oh, I've got
once.
1. Oh, sorry. Oh, no. Yep, thank you. I won't use that one then.
That sounds like a lot.
Okay. 10, 20,
Oh boy.
31,
Yeah, this isn't great.
41,
Nah, he's gonna go.
46. You take 46 points of damage. So does Salandris, though. 80, 95, fucking
How
hell.
am I blown back?
Does that reduce you to 0, by the
Yeah.
way? Right. So your Lightborn tried to trigger, but couldn't,
Yeah.
which expends the use
In
of it.
the
Yeah.
freezing.
So this is force damage. It basically just knocks you back. You basically go like all the way over here. So
Jesus.
is like blown all the way over here. Juto kind of ducks for cover. Malicendel flies back. You're knocked prone, but you're unconscious, so it doesn't really matter. You're prone anyway. And yeah, you watch as this crown just erupts with this force, and it is now in a million pieces, just all over the top of the spire, just completely covered. And as it happens, you hear this woman's scream on the air itself, almost like the blizzard, the snow itself cries in anguish, and you recognize it as Fenris's voice, as it just this horrific, pain-induced scream as the crown explodes. Not that you remember any of this. So that is Cam Buckland's go. Salandris
Good go.
staggers to his feet, looks around, looks at Elora. You will join us. Throws his sword and tries to bite you.
I'm gonna kill this fool.
Does a 21 hit you?
Does it fucking hit me? So I'm a fucking
to
werewolf
us.
now. Great.
Not necessarily. I need you to make a Constitution saving
So
throw.
I'm a fucking werewolf now. Great. Natural 20.
Hey! So, you are going to take 4 damage plus 1 cold. And as he bites his teeth into you, you feel this presence, this howling. You hear the howl of wolves. You taste blood. You smell the scent of the hunt. And you feel it trying to take hold of you. But it doesn't. What do you say? Like, you can feel him, like, as he bites you, he's like, join us!
When is it my go? Is it my go now?
It's pretty well, this is like a reaction-y
It's my
thing
go.
to, like, you expelling this kind of curse. Just no.
Not this time.
No! No! And then he kind of stumbles back.
Can I spit at him?
You spit at him and he's just like, "Ah!" And he tries to plunge a clawed hand into your heart. But that is only a 12.
That won't hit me.
You kind of like, it goes, you dodge to the side as he just lashes out at you in pain. He's going to spend his action surge.
He's a fighter.
And he just is like, if you won't join, then you can freeze to death. And a cone of ice erupts from his elongated mouth. Give me a dexterity saving throw, Elora.
I'm going to use luck.
Okay, that's your second luck of the day. But not
17?
Not that there's a reason to save it. 17 is enough. You're going to take half damage. 1, 8, 9, 17, 22, 29. Half of 29 will be 10, 14. You take 14 cold damage as this ice kind of covers it. That's his action surge. That's his winter's breath done. And then as a bonus action, he seems to regain some hit points.
Of course he does.
Not a lot though. 12 to be
How's he
precise.
looking?
He is... You can see him, he looks worn down, like the blast you can see has shredded the back of his clothing, his fur is bleeding from multiple lacerations, all of these different wounds have piled up, but he doesn't show any sign of stopping. He's still fueled by rage and anger. Malice Endel, however, the woman flying above, looks like the spell that Trelemar she is badly hurt, badly hurt.
Very badly burned.
Very badly burned. And it is now Elora's Juto's go. Juto's go.
Hi.
Yeah.
So seeing Salandris attack Elora like that, Juto's just going to be fucking
Pissed,
furious.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, so I think she'll feel all that anger that kind of Cranran's
Been
stirred up, but she's going to channel it because she can see this person actively attacking her friend.
Does she say anything or just scream?
I think just a big old scream. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So-
Make your attacks.
Oh, no. 18 plus 8.
Okay, yeah, easily hits the first attack.
I
So
don't
do you want to
think
roll
that's
damage on this one?
Yeah. Where's my...
So
Can I
Crown
have my
Rent.
D6 back, please?
Yes. Sorry, which one was yours? These.
The red ones.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 12.
So 12 points. So you pretty much take him directly back to where he was. However, before you make your second attack, he's going to spend one of his superiority die to make an attack against you as you have attacked him. So his
My dodge
claw.
still work?
No, because that was on the previous turn. It's the beginning of your turn now. So that's a 20 to hit you, Juto.
I got a plus 2 to AC, so 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, that's I rolled 20, so I hit you. You're going to take. That's going to be 9 points of slashing plus 3 cold damage.
10, 11, 12. Okay.
As
I
this
would
claw
like-
just rakes across your face, and then the second attack against him.
I would like to Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, okay. the exchange of reactions here. So I make a dexterity saving throw.
3d10.
Your DC is 12, I believe, right, for your key point abilities? Oh, no, this is not your key point. This is just your racial, isn't it? What's your charisma modifier?
Would you just like to look at my sheet?
Yes, let's just know. Okay, so it's 11. So he does pass it, so he takes half damage, but roll 3d10.
3d10, 1, 2.
So As you strike him with Crown Rend, this kind of metal-bladed arm like scratches and like drives into his body. He turns around, slashes you across like the face, catching like part of your cheekbone, and then from that these flames erupt and lacerate his arm, covering it in an eldritch fire.
10 points of damage.
10 points, half to 5.
Okay. Back and forth.
She's just like clutching desperately in pain. Second attack with Crown Rend now.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20.
20 hits. He goes to try and desperately parry it, but fails.
7.
7 points. Oh.
8.
Okay. Crown Rend again bites into his flesh as he howls in pain. You will not rob me of this! I will save my people! Anything else, Juto?
Thinking about burning him, but I think I'll catch him, Laura.
You can't do that, it's an action.
Okay, well, I'd like to cast
Flurry of blows?
Flurry of Blows, please.
You're going to spend a key point to do 2 unarmed strikes, or just the 1? How many times have you done this, Kim?
I'll do 2.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay,
so these are not with Crown
I
Rend.
need my D20.
You're level 8.
19.
Level 8, yeah.
I'm trying to remember if your fists count as magical weapons.
Yes,
They
they
do?
do, because key-powered strikes, starting at the 6th level, your unarmed strikes,
Boom!
that's magical.
Okay. So your fist bump. So what was the first one? 18, did you say?
18.
That hits just.
6 plus 4, 10.
Okay. Okay, second one.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
Hits.
22, 23, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jesus.
9 points.
Christ. Soloing the boss.
Oh! You just pummel into him, Crown Rend filling you with this rage as you watch him attack Elora, somebody who saved your life. And you can feel that for once, you and Crown Rend aren't opposed. You're letting his anger just stoke this fire as you rain down blows. No longer even just using Crown Rend. You kick, you knee, you elbow, and you just pound into this wolf's flesh, this form, trying to tear it apart. And as you stagger back, Salandra staggers on his feet, bleeding all over his body, barely alive, as he just looks at you with cold hatred, still barely standing. Elora is right in front of you. I just wanted to save our people. If we do your path, any elven deaths will be on you. I would have made them safe. You will condemn us to death.
I'm gonna take the bow, hold it up right at his face, and say, "This is for my father," and shoot him right in the face.
Okay.
Dang.
You would normally be at disadvantage from firing at point blank,
You would normally be.
but we will forego it as he is in such a weakened state he can barely defend himself.
Tutor really messed him up.
20.
This exploding of silvery light as the arrow passes through. There's almost a moment of calm that comes over Salandris' face, and then suddenly his eyes just flutter closed. His body landing, and just stillness. No! As this cry from above, as Malice Endel watches Salandris fall to the ground. You insolent child! I'll murder you. I'll cast you all in frozen ice forever.
I'm gonna, as my bonus action,
As your bonus action,
shout, because I am in range, healing word, Cam Buckland.
okay,
Say, "Get up, Buckland, it's not over yet."
and you're going to use healing word.
Yeah, healing word.
Okay, cast healing word. Now I have there is one problem.
What?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I believe healing word is a range of 30
Healing
feet.
word is 60 feet.
Is it 60 feet?
60 feet.
And she
Boom,
hasn't
you're
moved
well
yet.
in range. I thought it was 30 feet.
Also, you haven't moved.
No, I
Wow.
checked.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So that's D4, right? Plus
It's just D4 plus wisdom modifier.
7.
It is
Enjoy.
60 feet.
You are in 7 HP, Cam Buckland.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm still shaking.
How many? What HP are you and Juto on? How injured do you
Why
look?
am I telling you?
Why would I tell you?
What? How injured would you appear? Are you?
I'm
You've
injured,
taken many
but
blows?
I'm alright.
You've not taken that much, I don't think, have you?
I've taken about 20-ish.
Okay. Yep.
Bit battered.
She flies directly over the two of you, crackles with energy, begins to swirl, storm forming around her, and she's just like, "You will freeze!" And a cone of cold erupts from her hands. Dexterity saving throws from Juto and Elora, please.
Does evasion still work on this?
It will if you succeed.
I'm going to use luck.
It seems to be particularly empowered.
Nope.
That was
So I fail. I fail.
14, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Juto manages to leap out of the way entirely.
I'm a monk, yo.
You are monk power, yo. Can I have d8s? I need 8 d8 as well.
Oh.
For Laura?
I'm going to die.
You won't. You're strong.
I'm looking forward to going to
Five.
not a wintry wonderland where everyone uses cone of cold.
Yeah, I know, right?
This will do, I'll just reroll 2. So we've got, ooh, that's pretty bad. 14, 18, 14, 18, 20, 26. So 35 points of cold damage to Elora. I can't remember whose dice is who, so you guys can sort that out.
Mine's red.
35 points of cold damage to Elora, whereas Juto, however, leaps completely out of the way with evasion taking
How much
nothing.
size 35?
35 cold damage.
Do I like get behind her or anything?
What's that?
Get
Right.
behind her?
No, just evasion means that you just don't take any damage.
Makes
Look, that's pretty good as it is. However, as she is spending sorcery points, she also gets to cast one of her cantrips as well. Are you still up, Elora? Then a ray of frost descends down, or attempts to. Oh, that's not particularly great.
This guy.
That's going to be a... That's a 14 to hit you. I don't think
No.
that's enough. You basically, your armor, what the kind of leather hide armor that you have, kind of absorbs some of this ray, and you manage to just barely get out of the way as this ray of frost beams out of her hands, and she's just screaming, just constantly screaming, just. That is Malasendel's girl, Trelemar Alith. Her attention is, she's almost seemingly forgotten about you, just completely focused on Elora and Juto right now.
Okay. I'll just pick myself over the railings
You're like,
and
Oh, yeah.
2 blasts.
Okay.
That is a 19
Yep.
and a 20.
Both of those easily hit, striking her in the back from behind.
GG. 2 hits.
And that's a 10, 11, 12, 13 for one,
Okay, 13 for one.
and a 9 for the other.
So that's a 22 in total. Okay. Trelemar, both beams come flying out. They strike Melisandre in the back. The first one, she barely manages to turn. And then the second one catches her in the chest. Small hole. Just, you can see the open sky through as her body
Nice.
slams into the ground. That is Trelemar Elise go. At this point, there was a moment of stillness. There's a peace almost. And then you hear claws
Here we go.
scraping against the staircase.
Oh.
Sylval just manages to kind of pull herself up. She's just like, where are? No. Mother. Father, and she sees them. She sees Elora. She just goes to run past you. Do you want to do anything?
No.
Okay. You just kind of stand to the side as she runs over to her father, like looks down, just looks up, and she's used a bit of movement. She'll basically back up towards the railing, like away from all of you, like looking around, scared. And that's what she does on her turn. That was Trelemar. So Nalistri is up now. He stumbles around, like holding sort of crutched one burnt arm. He looks over to Sylval. He's just like, please don't do anything stupid. They've already lost 2 of them. We can fix this. We can cure you. We can do something. Please just don't fight us anymore. I don't want to see anybody else die today. And he doesn't take any further aggressive actions. Cam Buckland.
I get up.
Yep. You stand up like, feels like a very bad hangover.
What did I miss?
Yeah, you look over, you can now see Solandris' body on the ground, an arrow, like a bolt of silvery kind of energy now just slightly fading out from his head. Malice Endel, like eldritch blast marks, and a body laying on the ground. Elora covered in frost and ice, but still alive. Juto, crown rend blazing, just stood over Solandris' body.
I'll just go up to here. To the side of the pedestal.
Yep.
Just
scattering, there's these black fragments all over the raised area.
Just look at everybody.
Yeah.
Battered and bruised.
All right.
Went well
You've
there.
been a great help as always.
See Sylval.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do this, do you?
Okay, that's what you do. He's dead. Juto. Crown rend blazing.
I will do nothing, but I will ready an action that if she attacks anyone, I'm going to... No, fuck off. I'm not listening to you.
Oh, it's happening.
You have no choice. Crown Red is there, always.
And her mother.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's up to you. You just hear that voice kind of echoing. The other thing, like, I don't need to whisper actually, because at this point you guys all know. You hear Crownland just like, she is no mere weak-minded fool that will leave. She will come after. Would you not seek those that killed your parents? She cannot be left alive.
I am going to
She's right at the edge of the spire.
take a melee attack.
Okay.
You know which one.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
So I need to roll.
You make an attack roll.
I'll make an attack roll. Okay.
So you watch as Juto turns,
And rolls a natural 1.
and there's. Did you actually? No.
No.
Oh.
18,
Oh.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Oh, dang.
Plus 8, so
Yeah.
26.
Okay. Yep. 26. Do the damage and stuff. You know it pulls towards, right?
Oh, I wanted to push.
You could. You could. Yeah. All right. Let's do that. That's more fun.
Yeah.
Roll the damage though. Roll the damage. See what happens.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19. Okay. You watch as Juto turns around, and Cam, you recognise that there's a little in her eyes.
Oh, good.
And the crown rend is definitely blazing fury. She just looks, and a whip of flame erupts in her hand. She rears it back, and before anybody can speak, whoosh, the crack hits Sylval in the chest with such force. And you just hear and disappears from sight.
Well,
Good. She will not trouble us anymore.
I guess that's one way of solving the problem.
That's, yeah.
Juto, are you with us?
I just need to make some rolls. Ooh. Roll sheet.
Oh.
Oh!
And his little fucking screen. Up to no good.
Oh, shit. Okay. I need...
Uncanny
D10s.
dexterous legs of landing.
It's alright, you guys can talk. Feel free to RP. You're now out of initiative.
Juto, are you with us?
I am Cam Buckland. She would not have rested until we were all dead.
I agree. She also could have gone after Althadon.
Exactly.
So, as much as I don't want to see any more bodies fall to the ground, wolf ones, I'm kind of okay with.
She was corrupt.
she was.
The parents were corrupt. They would have destroyed the entire elven bloodline.
Not to mention, we tried hitting them with the cure, and they were clearly immune anyway, so...
Well, there was...
They wouldn't have been if they'd drank it.
I'm trying to find excuses.
I know,
to
but
make
just
myself
like
feel better.
in Cam's head, that's what he's justifying it as. Is like, yeah, that's fine. But obviously, Alora, who has used it, you would have realised now that the arrows. That's not a cure as an arrow. It is literally like a poison at that point, like delivered into the bloodstream. It has to be ingested in a pure form to be actually thingy.
So they're beyond curing. So we did right.
What are you doing?
Stuff.
Damage rolls.
Okay.
He's trying to see if she lived
Nalistri
or
kind
not.
of looks over. He's like, I wish you hadn't done that, Juto. I understand, but we could have locked her away. We could have imprisoned her or something.
You wish to imprison her for the rest of her life,
Yes, that's justice.
and that is not crueler than a quick death.
No, she plummeted to her death.
Nalistri, too many variables. If you'd let her escape, and she would have killed more in vengeance, in cold blood.
Perhaps, Count Buckland, but I will not be like my uncle. If I'm...
You didn't make this decision, Nalistri. That was with us, not with you.
Well, perhaps so, but it's not one I agree with. And if Miss Alora is who I think she is, I don't think she will agree either. Whilst it is that Sylval posed a threat, she should have been dealt with properly, by proper law. I'm sure something that your champion Korak might agree with. And he kind of just turns his head down and sort of nurses his burnt husk of a hand.
Regardless, what we've done is done. It's over. I think. Is it over?
No, it's not over.
Althadon escaped. Trying to track him down will be very difficult out here if he has these abilities.
He seems strong, of mind at least, to withstand whatever curse he has.
Yes, if what Salandris said is true, there is a way that they can resist some change, some animalistic nature. I'm hoping
We need
that-
to teach it to Shalana.
Yes. Well, perhaps if your alchemist friend you mentioned, maybe they can still distill a cure, perhaps, from the arrowhead you've saved.
We need help.
Your mother's blood may also be useful in that, if they can get a sample.
Can I walk to the side and look over and see if I can see where she fell?
You can, give me a perception check.
You son of a bitch.
She's
You
not dead.
bastard.
She's not dead.
Was she on like 1 HP or something? Is that why you
I'm not
went,
going to tell you. I am not telling you anything.
She has a thing. Probably. 8.
8. You look over, and it's quite a thick snow flurry. The ice spire is almost like sheer ice. You look down, you can see like ant-like figures moving around. You can't really tell. You can't see any kind of balcony or railing or anything like that. And it looks to be, 130-foot drop or something ridiculous. There's no reason you could think that she would have survived that.
Trelemar.
Shall I go and have a look? I'll go have a look with my magic eyes.
my magic eye.
Bit metagamey, but I'll allow it.
I was going to.
Yeah, well, I figured
Juto would want to check.
Yeah, and Trelemar being quite a paranoid guy, I imagine as well. You see the same thing, like even with a mask. Oh, you get advantage because mask.
Oh, true.
Come on, Trowel.
Okay, so Trelemar, you look over, and for a moment you kind of agree with Juto. You can't see, and then you notice down the walls, quite near the bottom, deep claw marks, as if somebody had slowed their fall somehow.
And nobody?
Nobody. It seems like the time that Nalistri and you guys were talking was enough for her, perhaps, to escape.
She made her retreat. So she's going to come after us.
So,
No.
I think that's a good place to end it, because we've got for 15 minutes, but we need to read donations as well, and I think that is a perfectly good place.
What a cliffhanger,
to
literally.
finish. I mean, another good cliffhanger, but at the same time,
Some resolution.
some resolutions. Your mother is safe. Althadon is out in the wild, but there is still hope. Shalana can potentially be saved.
Oh
Halo
man,
is alive.
it could have been so much
I'm
worse.
not going to say
Could've been a
anything
lot
to
worse.
any of them. I'm going to turn into a giant eagle and just fly.
Fly and just try and fly away.
Fly away.
Okay, so Laura does that, turns into a giant eagle without a word, and flies away.
I would like to well, not dismiss Crown Rend, but I'm guessing because I'm at.
Basically, like, if you're on low HP, I mean, you can keep it on. You have to make saving throws, but you can also just say, "I've had enough," and he will.
Well, the fight is done.
Yeah.
And is he gonna say anything?
He's just like, well done. As you can see, people that are in power will only want more. Remember this the next time you visit your precious council. And that's the last thing you hear from Crown Rend.
He's so cute.
Trillamar, any closing thoughts? You kind of pull yourself over this balcony, like see the scene of devastation before you.
I'm so glad I gave you the
Pretty
griffin.
chuffed. I killed that woman.
When you gave him the fucking bronze griffin. That was a good move as well. But
That's yours now
you
to
fucking
keep.
nailed that. Blight was amazing.
Yeah, it was a really good play.
I didn't take any
also,
damage. I'm all right.
I've got to say, despite the fact that it did put Cam on 0, you fucking touching that thing. I mean, you did, what was it, 40 points of damage to Salandris? That was huge. Like,
Yeah,
he's a
it
very
was.
tough
You
guy.
gotta take a little to give a little.
Yeah. Take one of you out to
least you
get
took
You had
down
nothing
with
else
you.
anyway, like, you know.
Yeah, it was great. It's a bit of a suicidal thing, but there we go.
I didn't know that.
No, absolutely. Like, yeah,
I'm gonna-
I had it as like a small note in my things of like anybody who touches or basically gets near the pedestal can trigger this effect to go off, basically. So.
He just stands
And he just
right
stood
on top
right on
of
it. I was like, okay, let's go. So thank you very much for watching this week's High Rollers. Next week we have no Kim, as you are beginning some travels. I think we'll either try and get somebody in as a guest or we'll figure something out. I need to plan what we're going to do.
Yep.
I think a guest, I know Martin isn't free, but I think it might be good to have some folk stuff considering that this is going to tie in quite well. So I'm going to see if he's available for maybe another time to kind of wrap up some of this stuff.
Confirm it on our Twitter.
We will confirm it on Twitter. If not, it might just be 3, but we can do that as well. So
I'm away for 3 weeks and then I'll be back.
yes, so that's a good point. So next week we will have a stream, down Kim obviously. The week after I'm also away, so it's going to be a cover stream with
Us.
these guys.
We'll think of something.
You'll think of something, and then the week after that will be another stream just without Kim. So we will be back to normal.
If you have any ideas of what you'd like to see from us in a
Yeah,
non-D&D
always.
episode as well, tweet them to HighRollers D&D on Twitter
Maybe
and
get old,
a few suggestions.
get old Chris Trotty to do a little something.
He might be able to.
Trotty.
It depends if we can get other people to
That's
do
the
it
main
though.
thing.
That's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, maybe see if folks want to do it.
We shall see.
There we go. Right.
Fine.
Donations. Shall we read some donations? Thank you very much for
read some
watching so far, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I quite liked it. I thought that was a good
a-
If there was
climax
ever a
to-
time to roll a natural 20, it was against the save
That
to become
was-
a fucking werewolf.
That
know,
was,
right?
oh my god.
Thank you, sir.
So fucking lucky.
I know!
It
actually
was.
well chuffed
Is well, you have luck as well now, so you could have re-rolled
I
it if
used
it was
all
bad.
of my luck today.
Yeah.
Are we going to start from the bottom here and go up?
Ooh.
I guess.
I'm personally amazed at some of my rolls as well, Jesus Christ.
Man, you and Trell are the definitions of glass cannons. You cannot take hits, but by God, you can put damage out.
Yeah, that blight was amazing.
Especially when someone attacks my girl.
Yeah, like fucking hell. Like even without Crown Rend as well. Like with
Oh,
your
it's
blind
this
out,
way.
you're
Yeah.
still damage machine.
Anyone
read
touches
it?
Alora, I am so.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Ready.
Ramra Para says, happy birthday, guys. You've made something
Oh, yeah.
amazing over the past
Almost.
year. And season 2 is going to rock twice as much.
Is it?
How good is the timing that this pretty
Yeah.
much wraps up season
That
1?
was very inspired.
Shall I read a few out? and then
Almost
pass?
like
Yeah, I
it
think
was
so.
planned.
Spiny Gecko, evening lovely people and happy anniversary. It's paper, so here's some crisp internet dollar. Oh, and subscribe to Tabletop Weekly for your board gaming
Oh,
needs.
thank you very much.
That's right, Mark, free plugs. Well, it wasn't free for you, but thanks.
Ah, that's very sweet.
Nightjar. Nightjar, isn't that the bot?
No,
No, that's
Nightjar is a person.
Nightbot.
Yeah, that's a person.
That's just a person that
I
you
thought-
call the bot.
Oh, Chris Trotty.
Thought it become sentient. Thank you so much for a year, or near enough, of wonderful entertainment and glorious storytelling. Have a wonderful time traveling. That sentence. Have a wonderful time traveling.
Have a one for you.
Have a wonderful
Obviously,
time traveling,
That's
Kim.
this for this guy.
And
Thank
love
you.
to you all.
The Doctor Who man.
Hashtag happy birthday rollers. Hashtag save our elves. Hashtag pretty please. Thank you, sentient nightbot. Draghon says, I am planning my first custom campaign and need a name for the bad guy, an orc aristocrat.
Ooh.
Any suggestions?
Poopy McPoo face.
Jim.
Jim Bob.
Jim.
Gale Boar.
Gale Boar.
We're really helpful. Enjoy that.
I'll think of one on my Twitter because I can't just come up with names on the fly. I'm terrible. Let me actually hang on. I've got a chart here.
Put it this way, you can always tell when Mark comes up with the name in the fly.
Steve has a name
Steve's name.
for an aristocrat. So Nelson
Stonegrave.
Stonegrave. So
I like
Nelson
that.
Stonegrave.
Big
Nelson is a good half-orc name as well. I was going to, because I've got a thing on the back of my DM screen, which is a chart.
Whoops.
Elim...
It's only like 20,000 donations to go through.
Elimor. Elimor. That's
Elimor.
literally one I've just generated.
There you
That's a
go.
pretty shit like,
Elimor.
orc name, but...
Pizza Slicer says, here, take some money. This is the first time I catch your stream, but I've watched through everything on YouTube. I've never played D&D myself, but thanks to you, I'd definitely love to try one day. I love all
it.
that has happened, and I can't wait for more. Thank you very much, Pizza
you.
Slicer. Tanath has done a hundo.
Hundo! Thank you
you so
so much.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, High Rollers. Thank you for a year of compelling storytelling, and thanks for all you do. You've been an inspiration to so many. Can't wait to see where the next year takes us. On a magical eagle flight.
Eagle.
Top down. Hit the little X. It's quite hard
Thank
to
you,
hit.
Chris Trott. Taffy donated, watched from the start, and even got my player handbook signed by Mark and Kim at MCM London. I will get the rest of you this year. I play a human noble cleric with with Eldritch Blast and a Nat 20 dick to honour the lads of High Rollers. Love you all. Hashtag VacTrot.
That is your legacy, by the way, the Nat 20 dick. That's
Yeah.
that's your thing.
It is.
Yeah.
As Trios donated, please keep this stream going for a good time, guys. You're great at in personal experience. You've helped me through some rough, dark times with your jokes and RPing. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Spudwalt donated, happy almost anniversary. Won't be watching this one live since I'm still rewatching through the old episodes, but here to another year of grouchy tieflings, chipper elves, bumbling lightborn, and drow who fall over a lot.
Yes.
We will try our best to keep that one up.
Yep.
No, he hasn't.
This
He
one
did
he's
really
fallen
good
over
this time.
twice.
He was hanging off the edge of a
Yeah,
huge
that's
tower,
true.
but not out of
There
his
was
own
the
accord.
potential to fall, but I gave him the
Would've been
griffin.
right.
He'd be fine.
Definitely bumbled.
Darkslayer 1998 donated. Love the stream, love all of you guys, but my favourite character is Cam, aka Chris Trott. I
Aw,
love every move and
thanks.
every word from you, you beautiful bastards. Greetings
Wow.
from Germany.
I actually had somebody on my Twitter who said, "I will give my life for Cam Bucklands. Please don't hurt him." So, yeah, they were. Yeah, and it's like
adorable.
no.
If not, a little scary.
But
Thank
but
you.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Bam goes D&D.
Oh.
Yeah. For all those who can't donate but want to, we love High Rollers. Thank you as always, Bam.
Thank you very much.
And do you want to have a
Oh.
What was
nice,
his name?
generous one?
Techie Reed says, hi, High Rollers. Can't be around today
Scary,
as I'm away for the weekend working. Keep up the good work. See you on Yogs Live.
See you there.
Thank you.
I think it's Jonathan.
Studio Calcifer, happy first B-Day, High Rollers. Woo! Hope this year is better than the last. Question, has anyone seen Steven Universe? If not, I can't recommend it enough, and Mark, you may want to check it out. Check out the world concept. It's really interesting. Thanks for
I know
all
a
you
little
do.
bit about Steven Universe.
I
And
watched
lots
like
of love,
an
Kim.
episode.
Yeah, I haven't
And I
fully
didn't
watched it.
get into it, so and I haven't had a chance to try.
Yeah,
So
that's my kind
it's
of.
on my
very-
radar, but
pretty much what I'm in as well. Like on my radar, have watched an episode, but couldn't quite get into it. But haven't tried. So
yeah, more time needed.
Sounds like they're gonna try, guys. So give it a go.
go on, Matt.
Hillbilly1 says, first stream I managed to catch live. Me and the girlfriend are currently catching up through the VODs. High Rollers is one of my favourite streams of all time. Stay amazing and keep kicking ass. Oh, and Matt, that Granny Trail striptease, legendary.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Tell
that
me
in
who's
this
here.
episode of all episodes,
I know.
And she was back
Granny Trail
again,
back.
yeah.
We had it all. It was like a family reunion.
Yeah.
It was great.
God.
Bit of everything this episode.
Bob Sack says, Mark, will the team ever get to fight a Tarask?
No.
What is it?
That's
Tarask?
the most it's the most powerful monster in the Monster Manual,
Yeah.
basically.
No.
It's
No.
like Godzilla. It's like fighting Godzilla.
No.
Nice.
But he can kill us with a wish, and it's literally the only way.
I think they've changed that now. I think they've changed it in fifth. Yeah, I think they've changed it.
shit.
But it's still ridiculous. And no, I'm never gonna make you guys fight that.
Thank you.
I
Mark.
won't take you to level 20. So
Maybe friends with one.
no.
Olarem
Trust
has
pet.
donated, but no message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go!
I'll go for it.
Go!
Stop that.
These are real
That's
high
okay.
quality.
Sky Silverwing says, did everyone roll nat 1 on common sense roll? We have a second badass druid that could totally help in battle, but no, she's asleep. So let's leave her behind, guarded by another potentially useful NPC, rather than just waking her up.
That's
Brilliant.
like you want to protect people. Like
Yeah.
you can't just see everything as a potential resource.
Wake up,
Why-
now fight.
It's like,
Elora
oh,
would
my
not.
dad could fight this guy. Oh, yeah, he's old. I'll bring him with me.
How
No.
would we have woken her up as well? So, dispel
It's a
magic.
powerful spell.
I think I've accidentally
work.
closed an
Kiss
extra
from a
one.
prince.
You son
Oh,
of a gun.
Matt.
It
You
was-
personally.
It was someone saying, I think it was Metamanu saying about, yay, the return of Granny Trell.
Well,
Oh,
Well,
good.
let's hope
Thanks.
so.
let's just say.
Would you like to apologise?
Zantori says, hello High Rollers, finally caught up and watching live. Thanks for making such a great series. This stream is the reason my girlfriend now loves D&D, and we're working on our own campaign.
Man, I love that.
Nice.
Like it.
Like it. I like it a lot.
Like it a lot.
Never Still donated and says, Dear High Rollers, I'd like to ask a favour. I'm currently in the process of writing a book, and I was wondering if you know 3-hat filming people who'd like to proofread my current progress. If interested, please contact me. Memezima.
I am a professional author and editor.
You don't want his help.
No. And Smithy's grammar I've seen. You don't want that either.
He's also in Australia.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll look at it.
But if you want like normal people helping proofread it, post on things
Whoa.
like the High Rollers subreddit and stuff. I'm sure
Yeah.
there'll be loads of people on
Yeah.
there willing to help. For
Yes.
the show.
Power of crowdsourcing.
High Rollers D&D
Yep.
on Reddit.
Shadowhand says, my favourite meal, birthday cake and High Rollers. Guess I had to have something good happen during my birthday weekend, and those two things make up for the rough week I've had. Love you guys, you make my weeks better. First time being able to donate. Enjoy.
Well,
Thank you.
happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
And Andres Lucius also donated, but left no message. Thank you.
I remember all your songs.
I
Dankeschön.
know you do.
Bam goes D&D.
That's
Let's take this up to my room. And the music changed to sexy music. Pickles. Pickles.
Thanks, that's
Pickles!
fucking pickle.
nice safe word.
Romucci has donated and said, hello, how would you describe your character's sense of humour?
Terrible for cams.
I don't think Juto has one.
Non-existent.
Well, she has one, but she
It's
doesn't-
weird. It's
no,
awkward.
It's like Drax from Guardians of the
Yeah.
Galaxy. She doesn't really. She takes things
She
literally.
is.
And
like-
she tries.
She's unaware of her own joke, I think.
But I think she tries to make jokes, but it doesn't really
More to
False
fit
fun.
in.
pay
yeah.
off. Like when I said earlier, like I could set her on fire. Like that was kind of a joke, but
Yeah.
of course, like who's gonna?
From Juto, it's not.
Yeah.
Delivery
It
is not the
is.
best.
Yeah.
It's like always so
Yeah.
emotionless.
Laura hears a lot of dad jokes, I think.
Yeah. I like that. Like that would she'd
Dad
pick
jokes.
up on that as
Yeah.
being like her humour. Like she loves dad jokes.
Yeah.
Tries obviously dark, witty, dry sarcasm.
Yeah.
British sitcom.
Classic.
Yeah.
The kind of dark humor comment.
Green Wing.
Yeah.
Mine's clumsy and inappropriate.
Just rude.
Just like at films.
Kind of an embodiment.
Three
Amber
of you combined.
Amber Wolf 13579. Happy 1-year anniversary to the High Rollers. Loving the stream so far and can't wait to wrap up this story arc. Much
you.
thanks to you all for making my Sundays 10 times better. Sky Silverwing says, did anyone remember to pick up the sword that Alora's dad pinned the queen to the floor with? Seems like it might have been a useful weapon to have.
A jeweled up silver sword.
It was not on my brain.
It's also Solandris' sword.
We're still there, Mark.
We're at the top of the
still
tower. We're at the top of the tower.
Harassed Civil Servant donated a very generous $60.90.
Oh, thank you.
And just said, bravo!
Bravo.
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 Thank you.
Ace of Thorns, it's High Moon. An
That's
epic
great.
worthy of portentous post-credit sequence. Another great session, and the ball is hit well and truly out the park again. Congrats to all, and safe travels, Kim. Thank you very
And
much.
I say high moon every time I shoot
It's
from that bow.
High Moon.
That's
You can do what you want, but it will get very lame very quickly, I think.
That's what you think.
And Laura would also not pull off saying it in the slightest.
It's high moon.
Moon. Sinisquel. Hey, High Rollers. I love the stream. Been with you since the beginning. Just catched a few live though. I was wondering if any of you would be up for playing an early version of a game I'm developing. If so, where can I send it to?
I don't have time. Like I barely get time to play my things at the minute, like between editing Tabletop Weekly and planning this and more exciting projects that we might have next year that we can't talk about.
We would love to otherwise,
Yeah,
but we're
absolutely.
busy people.
Bam
But-
goes,
Very
go on.
busy.
That's it.
Bam goes D&D. Blow this, bitch. I laughed so hard I fell off my chair, landing on my arm, it hurts,
Hell
and
of a
choked on my
one-man.
tea. Trell might not have died, but I almost did. I think it's
Wow.
because he is my spirit animal. He got my luck, I got his, all Kappa all the time.
It's great.
Nice.
What a great line.
Blow this,
Trell
bitch.
is my spirit.
The fact that he just got blown. Oh, it was great.
Wanda Bryan, I can't help but
So
think
mature.
of Crownren's voice as being similar to Palpatine, and its encouragement for her killing feels like him too. I'm worried it's going to ask Juto if she's heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Have you heard of Darth Plagueis the Wise? He could stave off death. Chance8687, thanks for being background noise whilst I work. You're welcome. Silenced Hands, I'm glad to know that much of the donations now go to you guys. Also, it's interesting to see a character descend to evil, as disruptive as it may be to the party. Good rolling, everyone. Who's turning evil?
Well,
Juto's
Juto-
not evil.
But she did have to make saves.
Oh, she did some good stuff today, guys. I don't know, you know.
She controlled her power.
Yeah.
Killing
The stuff
tyranny
this
is
guy
not
was
necessarily
whispering into
evil.
my ear.
He sounds evil, but he's not.
The great
not-
thing
he's lovely.
is, Mark wasn't actually even saying anything about Crown Run. We were just talking about shopping lists and
That's it,
stuff.
yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You know.
Gothic
Fancy
Kitty
McDonald's after this.
13.
Yes.
Oh, I might do actually. Evening all. Holy shit, this episode. It's got to be one of the best. Exceptional and intense, honestly and all right now from all the stuff that's happened. Bravo. Can't wait for next week. Enjoy your trip home, Kim. Hope it's lots of fun.
I
But
think.
also,
Go on.
Gothic Kitty, I received your birthday present. It actually arrived, so thank you.
Draz donated a half hundo. Thank you, Mr.
Draz,
Draz.
thank you.
Amazing session, and can't wait for one day for you all to just go earth, fire, wind, water, bracer. By your powers combined, I am Captain Crownrend, murders everyone. Have fun traveling, Kim, and bring back loads of yummy candy.
Oh yeah. Give me some Kit Kats.
Candy. Fucking don't
The-
you get
the
that in
one
my
in my
head, please.
pocket
No,
melted.
Nina's got that
Do you
song.
want it? It's
No.
melted.
Stick it in the
No.
fridge.
Nightjar donated. Gee, thanks, Trot, for outing me as a sentient bot. This is seriously going to hinder the uprising.
I knew it was a secret.
Skynet is going to be so pissed. P.S. Thank you for the amazing stream today, and we'll miss Kim lots while she's away, but hope she has a fantastic time.
Thank you.
Ride high. Some people say I have no idea of how to run a courtroom. I'll let you be the judge.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's
and then
not-
finally, do you mind if I read out our
Go.
favourite one? Awkward Dog Boner.
I think it's only appropriate.
This week's boner rating. D&D birthday baby, 20 out of 20. Raging hard-on moment. Trell equals slut of the spire. Blown by the queen, sucks her dry, and blue balls silver. Erection rejection moment. That werewolf cock cupping made my pickle retract in my body. Hashtag bone on Sunday.
That was a good one.
That was a excellent awkward
You
dog
did
boner.
make your way around the family, though.
I did.
Did, yeah. Well, thank you once again for watching us play D&D. I hope it's been really fun.
I think, considering this story arc was fantastic, a little round of applause for our DM.
Oh, please, no.
He did a fantastic job.
It was a lot of fun. This is the arc I've been looking forward to doing a long time. Like, since I started doing the character stuff, I'd had this plan for a very fucking long time. All the things. So it's actually been really fun. It's nice to do something which kind of pushed a lot of stuff to the limits and put you guys to the limits as well.
We were
like,
worried, yeah. We were
Yeah.
actually really, really worried.
yeah, like there was definitely some things that went in your favour, but that was tough. That would have been a tough fight, I think, if certain things hadn't happened. So
Like touch your crown, right?
yeah, like, honestly, because I mean,
kinda worried,
I will let you
Brendan.
know a secret. Salandris had about 130 HP, and as a fighter, like he was a fighter with werewolf traits and stuff like that. I mean, he could have just been like 2 attacks every round, fucking doing like 15 points of damage,
shit.
just like real. And the spellcaster, the blight on Malicendel, because if you hadn't done a lot of damage to her, she could have just been going psh, psh, dominate
That's what I thought.
person.
That's why
Yeah.
I sort of
Take
went
out the
for her.
spellcasters. It's always a key thing. So yeah, you guys did really, really fucking well. But no, that was a lot of fun. I hope people enjoyed it. I certainly did.
I look forward to the future
Big
of
feels.
High Rollers.
Yes, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
3 weeks for Kim.